This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Traffic is sponsored by Lynch McQuanago, the place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Chevrolets, Fords, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams. All in one location. The place you want to go, Lynch McQuanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The Bucks are ready to face Luka and the Lakers at Fiserv Forum.
Lillard drives, nice find underneath, and Giannis rocks the rim with a two-hand slam.
Our coverage begins tonight at 6 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Thursday, March 13th. Your top story, hearing from the interim Madison City Clerk.
And I'm Toya Washington in for John McCure. Possible split votes in a federal budget bill.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Starting off with an accident on 94 southbound right at Layton. It's off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. Otherwise, we've got delays along northbound 43 from just past Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. Southbound slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette, and westbound 94. Watch for delays from 20th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, mild, and you might see the lunar eclipse starting at 11 o'clock tonight, a low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and mild. Rain storms are possible at night. High of 63 at the lake, 72 inland. Right now it's sunny and 43 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a WTMJ exclusive. The new interim City of Madison clerk fully confident that April 1st election will run smoothly. As an investigation still continues into the 193 uncounted absentee ballots that were found after the 2024 presidential election.
City Attorney Michael Haas tells WTMJ he was first told of his appointment to the interim position on Tuesday, the day before Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway publicly confirmed Maribeth Witzel-Bell was being placed on leave.
He was very helpful in providing the status of preparations for the elections.
While Haas admits he's still getting his bearings about him, he has full confidence the critical April 1st election will go off without a hitch.
Sometimes mistakes are made. The key is that we need to be transparent with the public.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin. Both candidates for an open Wisconsin State Supreme Court seat discussing the nearly $60 million invested into the race during Wednesday's debate on WISN TV. Judge Brad Schimmel.
97% of the donors to my campaign are people who vote right here in the state of Wisconsin. Almost 50% of my opponent's donors can't vote in the state of Wisconsin because they don't reside here.
Judge Susan Crawford offering a response.
I have support from all over the country, and it is because Elon Schimmel is trying to buy this race, and people are very upset about that.
The $59 million invested breaks the previous record set during the 2023 race between Janet Protasewicz and Dan Kelly.
Senate Democrats may be split on whether to vote no on a budget proposal passed by the House that would avert a government shutdown. ABC News' Jay O'Brien.
We talked to Democrats who emerged from that meeting and said that there was a serious split. Some have said that they are a firm no. They are not going to give their vote. Some said ask somebody else. Chuck Schumer walked out of the meeting saying that he would update us soon as to what his thinking was here and what play he was going to call. But our reporters who were standing outside the room could hear shouting through the doors of the meeting.
All but one Democrat in the House voted to kill the budget proposal, but it passed the House with a narrow majority.
The tariff back and forth is well underway after President Trump imposed 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum.
President Trump today said he would stand firm on his tariff policy after threatening a 200% tariff on champagne, wine, and other alcohol imported from the European Union.
We've been ripped off for years, and we're not going to be ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all.
The president's threat came after the EU said it would put tariffs on $28 billion of American goods, including a 50% tariff on whiskey. That action was in retaliation for the steel and aluminum tariffs the president put into effect this week. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Coming up, how much TV is too much? Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 3:05.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
The most common reason pain sufferers come to us is to be able to perform their daily tasks without suffering through them. Grandparents who want to be able to take their grandkids on walks and to the park. Or those that just want to be able to get out of their vehicle with more ease than pain. Rejuvenex pain treatments can help, and the sooner you get to calming down that pain, the better it will be. These are powerful, FDA-approved pain treatments precisely administered with an extremely small needle to get to the root of your pain. And before you know it, you'll feel the anti-inflammatory power of Toradol and the cushioning relief of hyaluronic acid. Positive patient results are regularities, not rarities. And we do this conveniently in office, so it's very easy for you. And we're in network with most insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, which could mean zero out-of-pocket costs for your pain relief treatment. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 3:07.
New research shows watching too much TV is bad for your health. Correspondent Michael George.
Watching more than 2 hours of TV a day is bad for your heart.
A study by the American Heart Association showed people who had more sedentary lifestyles, including spending 2 or more hours daily in front of the TV, had a 12% greater risk of developing cardiovascular disease. Doctors suggest limiting TV to an hour or less daily to reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke.
I don't know if we should be talking about how much TV we should be watching and then launch into sports, okay? Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Basketball takes center stage today as the Bucks welcome in the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James is out again due to a groin strain. Coverage begins at 6 on WTMJ. College basketball now. The Marquette Golden Eagles are facing Xavier in the first round of the Big Ten East Tournament right now. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin Badgers also playing right now, taking on Northwestern in the Big Ten Tournament with the winner facing UCLA. The NFL League year is underway and some former Packers are on the move. Running back A.J. Dillon is signing a one-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. Center Josh Myers signs a one-year deal with the New York Jets. Former first-round pick Eric Stokes goes to the Raiders on a one-year deal there. Also, Brewers, they take on the White Sox this afternoon in Arizona. Our next broadcast is scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:09.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but they didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not recorded properly or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Toya Washington.
And Toya, you were just outside. How is it?
Oh, it's gorgeous outside.
Excellent.
Yes, nice and sunny. Yes, not too breezy.
Ooh, I'm going to take my dog for a nice long walk. All right, let's get to our 3 at 3.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
Number 1 is about number 12. Aaron Rodgers. Where's Aaron Rodgers going next? To the Steelers, the New York Giants, the Vikings? Well, he was spotted he was papped by the paparazzi. The Daily Mail in California published a photo of him walking alone, barefoot on the beach, looking at the sunset, and they perfectly wrote that he's conjuring his future.
All right, we need to go back. Papped? He was
paparazzi.
Paparazzi.
Yeah.
See, I learn a new phrase every time I'm here.
The paps.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
So, yeah.
The paps are on alert.
The biggest fan that we of Aaron Rodgers ever has been Mr. Brandon Steid, has been looking at every moment of if there's an announcement, and if there is, we'll bring it to you.
Does he wish one team over the other? Please don't say what I think about you. What?
No Vikings.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. That would be
no, please don't.
Awesome. Okay, so number 2, this is an unbelievable story. A man intentionally set fire in his room because he told police he had been held captive in it for more than 20 years. This is in Connecticut. Investigators say the emaciated-looking 32-year-old man told the police after he was rescued from the fire. He says he started because his stepmother was holding him captive in an 8-foot by 9-foot room for 2 decades. He told investigators she would only give him 2 glasses of water a day, sometimes was given sandwiches. Investigators say his teeth was rotted, and the man suffered smoke inhalation and burns, but said it was worth it because the last time he left his house was with his father, who has since passed away, who was when he was 14 or 15 years old. His stepmother, Kimberly Sullivan, is now charged with assault, kidnapping, and cruelty. Unbelievable story.
Unbelievable.
Number 3, TSA found a living creature in a man's pants as he was making his way through the New Jersey airport. A turtle.
Why? But why?
The TSA took a photo of it, and if you text
After
watch,
it was removed from his pants, just so we're all clear.
Yes. If you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, WATCH to our Citing Unlimited talk and text line, 855-616-1620. You know what it does show, though, Toya? It shows the towel that he wrapped the turtle in before he stuffed it down his trousers.
What does it explain? Why does he have a reason for contracting salmonella in places that do not belong? I don't.
So the scanner alarm went off.
Okay.
According to the TSA at Newark Airport. TSA officer did a pat down and said something was not right. So the man reached into his pants and pulled out the turtle. That's about 5 inches long.
Huh.
It was wrapped in that little blue towel you can see if you text WATCH.
Okay.
It was a red ear slider turtle, a species really popular as a pet. He was not arrested, but he missed his flight and the turtle was confiscated. It's not clear why he had the turtle in his pants.
I have so many inappropriate things going through my head to say, but I'd like to be invited back.
I'm so glad that the turtle is okay.
Yes.
I would never do that. What if it bit you?
No, I don't.
In your
There's,
pants?
again, so many things that I'm not going to say.
3:14 on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Afternoon News continues with news that Vladimir Putin has apparently agreed in principle with a U.S. proposal for a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. We have an ABC News correspondent who's overseas with new details next.
5 letters here, just for everybody out there in Packerland and yourself today. RELAX. Relax.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone.
spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Back again and gone again for Hoskins.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants Friday at 3. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Are you over 18 years old, over 280 pounds, and interested in participating in a clinical research study? If so, you may be eligible to participate in a research study involving MRI scanning. You may qualify to participate if you are 18 years of age or older and not employed by GE Healthcare, are able to hear and understand English, are over 280 pounds, are not pregnant, do not have any tattoos or permanent makeup, have no implants with the exception of permanent orthodontic retainers and breast implants. Pierre O'Godden is a principal investigator for the study being held at 3200 North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Study scans are investigational, and the use of these devices has not been cleared by the FDA. The study is not being performed for diagnostic purposes. It is not intended to replace your medical care. Your appointment will last up to 4 hours, and for your time and travel to GE Healthcare in Waukesha, you'll be offered a gift card valued at $80 per appointment at GE Healthcare's MRI facility. To learn more, please call GE Healthcare at 262-312-7855. Again, that's 262-312-7855.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lasaga. How are the roads?
Well, westbound on 94, backing up from about 16th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 41's heavy south of Hampton all the way down past Capitol. Northbound 43, backing up from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound, you're going to see delays right through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Also, we do have a crash on 94 southbound at Layton Avenue. This is off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild, and you might see the lunar eclipse. pretty cool if there's not too many clouds. Starting at 11 tonight, a low of 42. Tomorrow, it'll be mild rain-storm mix. Tomorrow night, 63 at the lakes, 72 inland. Saturday, cloudy, windy, scattered showers possible, a high of 61. Sunday, flurries may be possible, a high of 40 degrees. Sunny Monday, a high of 52. Right now, it's sunny in Milwaukee at 43 degrees. Wisconsin's Afternoon News Podcast is sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit davedrakamp.com. Vladimir Putin says he agrees in principle with U.S. proposals for a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. Inez de la Cutera, ABC News correspondent, is overseas and has the very latest. Inez, thanks for joining us. What does in principle mean?
Hey, yeah, that's the big question here. So we did hear from the Russian president. He says that Russia is ready for a ceasefire, but he's also suggesting that Ukraine will have to accept additional conditions before an agreement can be reached. So there are those questioning whether that is Putin just delaying here and not actually intending to sign any kind of ceasefire deal. We heard from Putin. He said that any deal would need to lead to long-term peace and eliminate the root causes of the crisis. Those root causes are Russia's reasons for starting the war. So it's unclear if the U.S. and Ukraine will be able to resolve that. Some of the sticking points that we know are holding up this deal. So Russia has insisted a few things. So they want any deal to include international recognition of seized territory. They want a commitment that Kyiv won't join NATO. And they want pledges that European peacekeepers will not serve in Ukraine to protect against another Russian attack. So again, unclear if any of that can be negotiated or if this is just Putin trying to delay implementing the ceasefire.
And you mentioned this additional conditions. Is that kind of what you just laid out? What does this mean? Or what, if you could speculate, what are those additional conditions?
Yeah, so we have a pretty good idea. He said it himself. They want to eliminate the root causes of the crisis, and they have already insisted that the deal must include recognition of the new territory, which Ukraine, by the way, has said that's out of the question. That they want to return to their original borders. They want a commitment that Kyiv's not going to join NATO, and they don't want European peacekeepers, which was an idea that was floated by France and Germany and the UK. Or rather, France and the UK, and Germany wasn't in favor of that. But that was something that we had heard from Ukraine, that they want security guarantees to ensure that any ceasefire is going to be upheld. We don't know what's going to happen. Putin did say today he may need to have another phone call with President Trump. And we know that the U.S. envoy, Steve Witkoff, is in Moscow as we speak. He's there this evening. He's going to be meeting with Putin behind closed doors. So we'll see if they're able to hammer any of this out.
And Putin wants new borders. What would that look like, with which Ukraine does not want?
Yes, they want the territory they've seized in the east. Russia did make some gains in the east, which is, we should point out, those are areas that have those rare earth minerals that we've talked about, that President Trump has voiced an interest in. Russia has seized some of that territory, and so they want to hold on to what they've gained. But Ukraine, again, has said they don't want, they're not going to accept that. They want to return to their original borders. They've even pushed to return to pre-2014 borders. I think there's optimism that the talks are being had. We know that there's been a big push from President Trump to negotiate some sort of deal. We know that U.S. negotiators this week were meeting with Ukrainian officials in Saudi Arabia to try and hammer out a deal. So there's optimism that talks are happening, that diplomacy is at work here. But then again, you do have, Kremlin experts, people who watched Putin closely, who are very skeptical that anything is going to come out of this, because it's not, I've seen reading experts saying that Russia doesn't really have any interest in ending the war, that they do believe they can win this by force. There is a lot of skepticism here and feelings that Putin doesn't actually want a deal.
Inez de la Cutera, ABC News correspondent, is joining us on the Citing Unlimited Talk and Text line. Inez, Putin did note the need to develop a mechanism to control possible breaches of this truce. What would that be?
Yeah, so it's interesting he mentioned that, because at the same time he's saying he doesn't want European peacekeepers on the ground. Unclear. He didn't provide any details, but that was certainly something that was interesting. He also said he doesn't want Ukraine to use the ceasefire to rearm or to, mobilize the population. So he's, and that's a tough ask of Ukraine. And at the same time, Ukraine doesn't want the Russians to do the same. So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how they hammer out these very specific demands from Russia. I think that's why there's a sense that this is not going to go anywhere, because they're so specific and they're so hard to resolve.
Is there any word on when the President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin may meet in person?
Yeah, we don't know. We're all, anxiously waiting for that. We know they spoke early on after President Trump was sworn in. We just heard from Putin today that he may need to have a phone call with Trump. President Trump has been asked also about any potential meeting with Putin. They haven't given us any kind of timeline yet, so we're all waiting for that. I would imagine if there is some kind of deal, we'll, knowing President Trump, we'll probably be seeing some kind of, big ceremony with leaders gathering to sign something, or Trump may decide to meet with Putin prior to the deal. He may decide that face-to-face talks are necessary, but this is just speculation at this point. We really don't know when the two men could meet.
ABC News correspondent Inez de la Cuetara, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. S&P 500 closes on a correction as the stocks slide on more president tariff threats. The Dow's down more than 1%, down 537. S&P down more than 1%, down 77. NASDAQ almost down 2%, down 345. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference. Wisconsin's Afternoon News continues with your top stories. Debbie helps get you home safe. Then at 3:36, the strange ending to the case of a missing Oak Creek girl. Search parties, police going door to door, looking for this 13-year-old. Then it all turns out, according to investigators, she was with her mom the whole time. There's much more from investigators I'll share with you coming up.
7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey everybody, Debbie Loziga here for Kohler Services. Hey, have you been putting off your bath or shower remodel? I got to tell you, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. They're family owned for 150 years, and Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. Why right now? Well, they are, this month only, they are giving $1,000 off of your Luckstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. What's Luckstone, you may ask? Well, Luckstone is their crushed stone material that they create the walls of your shower space, and it looks just like marble. You can pick your pattern, you can pick the color scheme, the whole shebang. It is gorgeous. Had Jason come out to my home, took some measurements, checked out the space, says, yeah, we can do this for you. Sat down and designed a shower space right in front of my very eyes, and I could see what it was going to look like. He let me try and feel some of the Luckstone material. It is gorgeous. So I cannot wait for this work to start in on my home. And if you can't wait either, now's the time to do it. So just visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you're in or near retirement, you're facing one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. When to take Social Security? Should you claim it now or wait for a bigger benefit? The wrong decision could cost you tens of thousands of dollars in lost income. And once you lock in your choice, there's no do-over. The truth is, Social Security is more complicated than most people think. The age you file, your marital status, other income sources, all of it impacts how much you'll receive. And in today's economy, with rising costs and uncertainty about future benefits, you need to make every dollar count. At Drake & Associates, we help hardworking Americans make smart decisions about retirement. Income is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap, and we'll help you navigate every turn so you can maximize your benefits and keep more of what you earned. Don't make this decision blindly. Get the facts and a plan today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Inside, you'll learn strategies to help optimize your Social Security, reduce taxes, and create a retirement income plan that works for you. But don't wait. These resources are only available while supplies last. Secure your future today. Text SS to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you retire with confidence.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
According to the Census Bureau, more than 12,000 Americans are turning 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. 65 is traditional retirement age because it matches up with Medicare, but Gallup found 61 is the average retirement age. Some Annex clients retire early, but we also have clients working at 70 because they love what they do. You know why? Because they've got plans built by fee-only fiduciaries, plans custom-tailored to their lifestyle. They identify their wants and needs, and we went to work building investment, retirement, tax, and estate plans in their best interest. Proper retirement planning doesn't start the week before you retire. Having a focused plan built by our in-house teams will go a long way in helping you reach the retirement you desire. It all starts with the conversation you probably already have in the back of your mind. It's time to put that into action and contact Annex. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour: charges in the death of a transgender woman.
And I'm Toya Washington in for John McCure, expecting an increase in some alcohol prices.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound 94 at Layton, still dealing with a crash off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. We've also got some backups westbound 894 from about 27th Street all the way to about 60th. We got southbound 43 tapping on the brakes just as you're getting through the Marquette. Northbound's going to be slow from about Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. And westbound 94, watch for backups from 16th Street all the way to Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 42. Tomorrow, there's a rain and storms at night. A high of 63 at the lake, 72 inland. Right now, it's sunny and 46 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Milwaukee man charged in the murder of a transgender woman. 22-year-old Damian Steed faces a count of first-degree intentional murder for shooting and killing Amir Dior on February 21st. Steed is now in custody on a $500,000 bond. If convicted, he faces life in prison.
The caretaker accused of abusing a now-dead toddler from Two Rivers is asking for more time to prepare his case. Attorneys for Jesse Vang said Thursday they might need up to 6 months to review video and other evidence for trial. Police say Vang was the first to report 3-year-old Elijah Vu gone missing in February of 2024. Vu's remains were found last September. Vang is due back in court June 20th.
Milwaukee Public Schools partnering with the health department to offer its largest lead screening clinic Saturday. It'll be at Bradley Tech High School. The interim chief of school administration for Milwaukee Public Schools, Michael Harris.
Our priority schools are our K-8 schools in the district, where we have those kindergartens through second grade and those most fragile special education students. So we're going to be really working and focusing on those schools as we continue to engage in this work.
The clinic will prioritize students that attend Golda Meir, Coggle Elementary, Maryland Avenue Montessori, and Trowbridge Elementary.
The interim chief of school administration for MPS is sharing some good news in the midst of lead issues.
To our families over at Trowbridge, they will be returning to their school tomorrow, Friday. We're really excited about that. Our team has been doing an excellent job of really learning from our partnership with the Milwaukee Health Department to really understand what this situation is and how we can remediate this and really get going on our other schools.
The City of Milwaukee Health Department says they have successfully, finished lead hazard remediation efforts. MPS will now work to ensure students and staff only drink from filtered water stations.
The Medical College of Wisconsin is entering the final stages of construction on its new cancer research facility right at the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center campus.
The state-of-the-art 161,000-square-foot Center for Cancer Discovery will allow more patients groundbreaking access to cancer treatments. Medical College of Wisconsin's Dr. Ben Weston.
We're excited to have this new cancer facility to really do cutting-edge research on cancer therapies and treatments.
The facility will also feature dedicated space to support the development of investigator-led startups that focus on accelerating innovative cancer therapeutics.
I think sometimes we forget how lucky we are to have these research facilities so close to us, top-of-the-line care in the world right next door.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
It's set to open this fall.
In national news, the Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to allow restrictions on birthright citizenship to partly take effect while legal fights play out.
The administration has asked the justices to allow it to move ahead on the order to deny citizenship to those born after February 19th whose parents are in the country illegally and forbid U.S. agencies from issuing or accepting any document recognizing citizenship for such children. Lower courts in Maryland, Massachusetts, and Washington blocked the controversial policy, calling it blatantly unconstitutional. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Republicans trying to put pressure on Democrats to pass a spending bill to avert a possible government shutdown. The Hill correspondent Alex Gancitano says neither side wants to be blamed.
It looks like Democrats are signaling that they can make some sort of deal with Senate Majority Leader John Thune and feel comfortable enough allowing for this CR to pass. It's also, we've heard from centrists who do not want to see a shutdown. They know the political issues that come with a shutdown. And so as much as, the White House is trying to message a tariff story and, the stock market is not the issue, let's look at the Democrats threatening to shut down the government.
Democrats have said the current spending bill would give more power to the White House and Elon Musk.
Your French wine and champagne about to get a whole lot more expensive.
President Trump announcing he will place a 200% tariff on all wine, champagne, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU countries if they do not immediately remove their 50% retaliatory tariffs on U.S. whiskey. European alcohol firms saw their shares plummet in response to Trump's threat. Pernod Ricard stock was down 3.2%, while LVMH, which owns Moet et Chandon and Veuve Clicquot, saw its share price fall 1.9%. The EU's whiskey tariffs came in response to Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Paris.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. Basketball takes center stage today as the Bucks welcome in the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James out because of a groin strain. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock right here on WTMJ. NFL League year underway. Some former Packers on the move. Running back A.J. Dillon signing a one-year deal with the Eagles. Center Josh Meyer signs a one-year deal with the Jets. Former first-round pick Eric Stokes goes to the Raiders for a one-year deal. College basketball. The Marquette Golden Eagles are facing off against Xavier in the first round of the Big East tournament on 94.5 ESPN. And the Wisconsin Badgers are going up against Northwestern in the Big Ten tournament currently as well, with the winner facing UCLA. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:37.
Pain can make you feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. Or it can make you try any and everything. And most times that'll make you feel like you've been taken for a ride. It's hard to believe that there's a solution to your pain problem that works, is safe, and is actually affordable. But that's why most insurance plans pay for pain treatments from Rejuvenex, because they're FDA approved and they do work. Toradol and hyaluronic acid work together to substantially alleviate your pain. And we've seen patients experience pain relief for greater than 2 years after completing a series of treatments. Is it a one and done? No. But at as low as $65 per joint? It's an affordable alternative to surgery. And it's not an expensive cross your fingers and hope it works experiment. Especially for older pain sufferers, the pain treatment that Rejuvenex offers is worth trying, because the vast majority of patients who do live better lives in a lot less pain. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
3:38 on Wisconsin's afternoon news, WTMJ 620. So glad you're with us. We are staying on top of the strange ending to the case of the missing Oak Creek teen. Search parties, missing posters, police going door to door, hours of manpower looking for this 13-year-old girl missing, her aunt and uncle, grandparents going on camera, pleading for her to return safe. And it all turns out, according to investigators, she was with her mom, who's now charged. I just see one charge, interfering with child custody. Court records show the 13-year-old's father has primary custody, and the 36-year-old mother, Louisa Asala of Burlington, was hiding her the whole time, according to investigators. This scared the community. The girl was last seen at a skate park, as far as anyone knew. Then her phone was found abandoned a mile or so away. The teen nowhere to be found. And they went to the mom's house. Mom said, I don't know. I haven't seen her. Things were fishy to people from the start. So the father told investigators he went to the mom's work and talked to some coworkers. Then the detectives talked to the same employees. They said the mother, Louisa Asala, who's now charged, said she did not seem upset the whole time. Her daughter was missing for more than a week.
I have so many questions. So many unanswerable questions.
And her daughter's face all over the news.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the employee told investigators she was laughing and joking at work like nothing was wrong.
I feel like
that's a total tell.
Yes, that is. I feel like I might be the jinx, because the last time I filled in for a couple of days, do you remember this, the man who went missing in the summer and then was found overseas?
Oh, yes.
So I feel like maybe I should not come in and fill in, because we always seem to have some random.
Uzbekistan.
Yes.
Yes, he's back.
Yeah. And in trouble. I mean, this is what I don't, yeah.
So the employee told investigators that Asala was upset about one thing, that people were looking for her daughter. And she was also really mad that there was a search party for her daughter that weekend. So court records also accused Asala of lying to investigators, again, when they came to her home, several times. They say that that's where her daughter was the whole time, telling investigators her daughter had been talking about runaway, was frustrated when police kept coming to her house. Prosecutors say the ruse came to an end when a classmate of the missing girl said the Oak Creek East middle schooler was fine and was with her mom and safe with her mother. Officers say when the mom caught wind that her daughter just told a classmate of hers, I'm fine, I'm with my mom, Asala drove Lillian to a friend's house and told her daughter to stay off the phone and social media. Police came out and went to the friend's house, who told investigators when she came to her door in the same clothes that she was wearing when she first went missing days before, that she felt shocked and scared. So when police arrested Asala, she reportedly kept telling investigators it just went too far.
Just went too far. Okay.
That's a lot of manpower, a lot of money.
I mean, I can't, obviously there's something going on with custody issues in this family, but this is not the way you resolve things.
No
I mean,
way.
Imagine the father, I don't know if this child has any siblings or
How embarrassing.
the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the community in general. I mean, this is, where it's like
scary.
Having to have those conversations with your kids about, this is why, We have your phone on tracking so we know where you are. This is why it's so important. Call me when you get there or text me and let me know you're safe. It's not so that we're just monitoring our kids because we want complete control over them. It's because stuff happens. And these as a parent, there's so many things that you have to be alert about in this. Yeah. This is
so we'll be staying on top of this story. It's 3:42 on WTMJ.
So, you think your new star puts you up there with the best?
To see somebody of Luka's caliber be traded like this, you don't see that happening very often.
Well, just wait till we show you how we do it here in the Midwest.
Where are you from?
Dude, I'm from Lake Michigan.
Dribble. LeBron takes off. Blocked by Giannis at the rim.
The Bucks host the Lakers in Milwaukee. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6.
Giannis blocks the king at the rim.
We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. You know the ones. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security get garnished, or a lien put on your house so that you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a solution to solve your situation now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. The first meeting is free. Call now, 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us.
Hey, John Mercure here for my friends at Dave Drakekamp Heating. When you experience temperatures 10 degrees below zero, more than 15 inches of snow, rain showers, and sunny days in the low 40s, all in a 3-week period, it can only mean one thing. You live in Wisconsin, and that prepared you to be ready for anything. Because here in Wisconsin, anything can happen with our weather. But fear not. For over 42 years, Dave Drakekamp Heating has lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. Spring, summer, fall, or winter, even when they all seem to happen at once, whenever you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, just call the teams I trust at Dave Drakekamp Heating. From free estimates for new equipment, routine maintenance to ensure your system is ready for anything, or because you simply have a question about your home comfort, call 262-367-2820. 262-367-2820. Dave Drakekamp Heating, because your comfort is their family's tradition. DaveDrakekamp.com.
Namaste.
Dan, what are you doing?
Shh, you're harshing my mellow. Join me in some breathing exercises to chase away the chaos.
Let's focus on our clients, since we offer an exceptional way to control the chaos.
Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space.
And we don't over-design projects, sending you 3 beautiful designs to fit your price point.
Plus, our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets,
a wife and husband team.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and then weather, Debbie Lassica.
Okay, Julia, we've got eastbound 94 kind of backing up right now from about 84th Street to about Hawley Road. The westbound side of 94 looking at 16th Street out to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 41, heavy ride from Silver Spring all the way past Capitol Drive. Northbound on 43, backing up from Kilbourne up to Keefe. Southbound slows down from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be mild, cloudy. You may miss the lunar eclipse. It starts at 11 tonight, a low of 42. Tomorrow, it'll be cloudy and mild. There's a storm possible at night. 63 at the lake, 72 inland. Saturday, windy with scattered showers possible, a high of 61. Flurries possible Sunday, a high of 40. Mostly sunny Monday at 52 degrees. Right now, it's sunny in Milwaukee at 45 degrees. At 3:47, I hope that you are having a wonderful Friday Eve. Hey, I sat down with longtime former mayor Tom Barrett. He's back after serving as U.S. ambassador to Luxembourg. We talked on a wide range of topics since he's been a state lawmaker, U.S. congressman, mayor, ran for governor many times. I think it was twice. Just finished up his service as ambassador to the U.S. Which role was the hardest? And how politics is not all about winning, how he got over losing in a lot of political races. And of course, we started with President Donald Trump, threatening a 200% tariff on European Union wine and liquor, saying the world is ripping us off. Here's our conversation. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think, since you were the ambassador to Luxembourg, what do you think about the tariff situation going on? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I think it depends on the industry, and I could give you a long answer on that.
Like the steel and aluminum, I was talking to someone.
Well, and there's steel that comes from Luxembourg. In fact, the roof of the Fiserv Arena is from Luxembourg. So it's most of the trade between the United States and Luxembourg is financial trade. It's a big financial center.
Oh yeah, Luxembourg is like the Wall Street of Europe.
Exactly. So it doesn't really impact that as much. But I think that the whole, and as I was leaving there, I said, I don't think the bilateral relationship between Luxembourg and the United States will be as affected as some places. I said, I cannot make the same prediction for what the relationship is going to be between the United States and the European Union and the United States and NATO. Those are very separate issues.
Yep.
But I still hope, but it's still troubling in the sense that, from my standpoint, and this is just everybody has their own style, their personal style, I don't think the most effective way to get someone to go out on a date with you is to say you're fat and you're ugly and you smell. That doesn't get a lot of dates.
No, it would make me want to go on a diet, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe, or look for somebody else. And I think I've been in politics a long time, and I've always said in all these jobs, it's a human chess game. It's always a human chess game. And when you forget you're dealing with other humans, that's where things start falling apart. And
so is that the politics behind Trump, is the mind game?
I think he's obviously extremely effective, more effective than I could ever dream of being, in coming in and getting people terrified by him and intimidated by him. And then he's negotiating from a place of what he perceives as strength. And it might be true, it may not. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not true. I just think, and maybe it's how you're brought up, I just think it's better to respect people and to work with them. And there are some legitimate issues. Are there legitimate issues about defense spending in Europe? Absolutely, yes. But ironically, for all the bluster, and it was under President Obama where we first put down the marker for European countries to spend more on defense. And President Obama made some progress. President Trump made some progress. President Biden made some progress. But the dam broke, and the big promise was made when Putin invaded Ukraine. That's when Europe thought, oh, my God, this is real. We have to spend money on defense. And that's what's changed everything. So ironically, Putin has had more impact on defense spending in Europe than 3 United States presidents, because all of a sudden it's real, that war is not at their doorstep, but it's not far away.
Interesting. One more thing about Trump's style. I read in the New York Times that his style before was kind of to attack even his Republican counterparts in the Senate or in the House. And this time it's more of taking them in, romancing. I heard that he takes a lot of them on a ride on Marine One and sits them in the chair next to him. And he said, you know who usually sits here? The First Lady. So he's very good at when you're on his good side. So what do you think about that approach in politics? Because you have to wine and dine sometimes.
Well, and again, he can do that, and it's been effective in the House of Representatives. I think most people thought that they would not get this budget resolution through because they have only a 3 or 4 vote margin.
Yeah.
They got it through, and I think a lot of it was because he, as one of the headlines I saw said, he tried to use honey more than vinegar, and it became successful. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the Senate, but again, it's about getting things done. And we're living right now through history. History is being made, and we're experiencing it. And for some people, it's terrifying. For some people, they're happy.
Tell me what your favorite part was about being an ambassador of Luxembourg. Did you learn any language? Or?
I was just saying the most humbling part by far was how many languages they speak. in Luxembourg proper, in the city of Luxembourg, and I am not in the least bit exaggerating, most people I dealt with would speak 4 languages.
Yeah, when I was in Rome, the waitress spoke 7 different languages.
Yeah, it's so humbling. It's so humbling. I got to the point where I said, I can speak 2 languages. I can speak English and American. Because you just feel so inadequate. Now, the flip side of that is we have this country with well over 300 million people, the United States, and we all speak the same language, or most of us speak the same language. So the language barriers that occur with 22 languages, like they have in Europe.
And also the cultural. Did you have to learn any cultural
Yes. Oh, you
politeness?
did. No, and you would. So that was exciting. But learning, I'm a student of government, and learning how to interact with another country was interesting. Representing the president was an honor. I learned about the European Union. I learned about the International Court of Justice. I learned about NATO. These were all things, as I say to people, think if someone said to you, hey, do you want an exciting job where you'll learn a lot and you'll get to see things you've never seen before? Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, what was the most difficult position?
Oh, the mayor's job was by far the most difficult position.
Okay.
And as I would say,
everybody knows your address.
Well, and as I would say to people in the embassy in Luxembourg, I'd say, you don't because they would talk about how this was hard or this was hard. And I would say, you don't understand. I'm used to having people yell at me in bars. That's what the job of mayor's like. Like, why didn't you get my snow plowed? Why didn't you pick up my garbage? Why didn't I get this permit? And you're responsible. So, but I love the job as mayor. So I'm not in the least bit complaining.
No.
It's that to me was the most gritty job by far. It's an honor. It was an honor to be an ambassador. It was an honor to represent the United States. It was an honor to represent the State Department. But most of all, it was an honor to represent the people of the United States.
Where does an ambassador live?
So this is very, very interesting. There's a residence. It's a very nice place. It causes problems when you come home, because I come home and right now we're looking, and I'll get 100 bathroom calls after this, but they had nice showers. And I said to my wife when we got home, maybe I don't have to take a shower in a 108-year-old bathtub anymore, which is what we have in our old house. So that's one of the things we're doing right now. It's okay, should we get our bathroom redone? And we're trying to analyze that. But it's an old house, but it has a lot of historic significance because Luxembourg was invaded in World War II, and the Nazis came in and they absorbed it into Germany, and they made it a state within Germany. So Hitler had to have a governor for the state that he had created there. And so he put this fellow by the name of Gustav Simon as the governor, and he lived in my house.
Holy smokes.
So the Nazi government, Hitler's government, was run out of the residence that I lived in.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So, again, a lot of history right there.
Okay, what did you think about last night's Supreme Court debate? Did you watch it at all?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't? Because they were talking about congressional maps.
Well, I'm sure they're talking about congressional. It doesn't surprise me.
And abortion.
And I think it's going to come down to the spending. I'm going to show my true colors here. I think most people don't want Elon Musk to pick who our next Supreme Court justice is, but he's got a lot of money and he may do that. But
that was brought up a lot.
Yeah.
You've won so many times.
I've lost a few too.
That's where I'm getting to. I mean, you've done House of Representatives, Senate, member of the Democratic Party, Assembly, ambassador. You ran for governor, you're Milwaukee mayor. I mean, so how did you survive losing?
Having a wonderful spouse and a great family. And I remember one of the races I lost, and I was having a pity party for myself. And my wife doesn't remember this, but I remember. She said, well, while you're feeling bad, can you go put the storms on? Change the screens in the storms. It's sort of like, we have a life to live. Get over it.
Yeah. You got work to do, man.
You got work to do, and so I think that's helpful. It's just like you can't just feel sorry for yourself. You have to move on. Then everybody wins and loses, and that's life. You just got to deal with it.
So what are we doing next? Are we writing a book? Are we doing?
I'm not planning. I'm just hoping to finish the book that I'm reading right now. Is my number? I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's a World War II book.
Awesome. I'm reading a one that goes with the Vietnam War.
Okay.
We were soldiers once and young, and it's so I'm engrossed in it.
So I'm not sure but I'm very relaxed right now. I'm in a good place. And I don't know what the future holds. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what the future holds. I really don't. And I'm not being coy. I'm not. I don't know. And I think my wife would love to have me be retired. But again, I think that she may change her tune at some point.
You have energy. No,
I don't feel like I want to sit and watch TV all day. That's for sure.
Excellent.
So
thank you so much for talking.
Thank
to
you very
us.
much. It's a pleasure. My pleasure.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit Froedtert.com/cancer.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations: Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com, because today's your day.
The Bucks are ready to face Luka and the Lakers at Fiserv Forum.
Lillard drives, nice find underneath, and Giannis rocks the rim with a two-hand slam.
Our coverage begins tonight at 6 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Thursday, March 13th. Your top story: full confidence in the April 1st election.
And I'm Toya Washington in for John McCure. Don't click on those road toll texts.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound on 94, starting to see some delays from Highway F all the way through the Barker Road area. And then again from about 84th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. On the westbound side, you got some backups from 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. We've got some delays on the southbound bypass as well, from Beloit Road down and around the Hale past Forest Home. The westbound side slowing down from Mitchell Boulevard, actually from the Mitchell interchange all the way past 60th Street. Northbound 43, watch out. We got some big delays right out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 42. Tomorrow, rain and storms could happen at night. 63 at the lake, 72 inland. It's mostly sunny right now at 43 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a WTMJ exclusive. The new interim City of Madison clerk is fully confident the April 1st election will run smoothly as an investigation continues into 193 uncounted absentee ballots found after the 2024 presidential election.
City Attorney Michael Haas tells WTMJ he was first told of his appointment to the interim position on Tuesday, the day before Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway publicly confirmed Maribeth Witzel-Bell was being placed on leave.
He was very helpful in providing the status of preparations for the elections.
While Haas admits he's still getting his bearings about him, he has full confidence the critical April 1st election will go off without a hitch.
Sometimes mistakes are made. The key is that we need to be transparent with the public.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin, both candidates for an open Wisconsin state Supreme Court seat discussing the nearly $60 million invested into the race during Wednesday's debate on WISN TV. Judge Brad Schimmel.
97% of the donors to my campaign are people who vote right here in the state of Wisconsin. Almost 50% of my opponent's donors can't vote in the state of Wisconsin because they don't reside here.
Judge Susan Crawford offering a response.
I have support from all over the country, and it is because Elon Schimmel is trying to buy this race, and people are very upset about that.
The $59 million invested breaks the previous record set during the 2023 race between Janet Protasewicz and Dan Kelly.
Milwaukee County's courthouse complex in need of an upgrade. Greater Milwaukee Committee President Joel Brennan.
The courts are there, and you've got defendants in the courts who walk right by people who are going to be on jury panels and people who are going to be testifying against them. And there's a whole host of reasons why that 100-year-old building is just not good enough anymore.
Governor Tony Evers has proposed that $25 million be used to help update the courthouse. Brennan says the overall project would cost close to $500 million.
State officials are warning people do not respond to a surge of scam road toll collection texts. The texts impersonating state road toll collection agencies attempt to get phone numbers and phone users to reveal financial information such as credit card or debit card or bank accounts. They're so-called smishing scams, that's a tough one, which is a form of phishing that relies on SMS text to trick people into sending money or share sensitive information.
20 state attorneys general and 21 Democratic states suing to block the Trump administration from firing half the workforce within the Department of Education. ABC's Mary Alice Parks.
It amounted to nearly 50% of all employees, new employees, old employees, 50% of all employees at the Department of Education. And now, in response to that, 21 states are suing the federal government. Really remarkable when you think about it. Nearly half of all states in this union saying that this amounts to the Trump administration, in their words, illegally trying to dismantle the entire department.
The attorneys call the firings illegal and catastrophic.
President Trump is doubling down on tariff threats aimed at the European Union, now suggesting 200% tariffs on wines and spirits imported from Europe. News Nation's Hannah Brandt.
It all started when he announced 25% tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum. Then European leaders responded with the plan to place a 50% tariff on American whiskey starting in April. And President Trump says if they do, the U.S. will hit back with the 200% tariff on European wine, champagne, and spirits.
The European Union is very, very nasty.
The Trump administration says any pain will be temporary and insists long-term the taxes on imported goods will boost American manufacturing and benefit the economy.
EU officials want the U.S. to revoke the tariffs and say they're seeking negotiations on future tariffs.
Coming up, a surprising factor in male weight gain. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:05.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-303-1219. 800-303-1219. 800-303-1219.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:07. A newly identified risk factor for obesity in men? Marriage.
Marriage triples the risk of obesity for men, but not for women. Polish researchers presenting their findings at the European Congress on Obesity found married men were 3.2 times more likely to be obese than unmarried men, but there was no similar risk for women. Depression, ignorance about health choices, and living in a small community increased the risk of obesity in women, but not men. A reminder, the researchers say, of the many and complex factors driving global obesity. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Basketball center stage today as the Bucks welcome the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James is out due to a groin strain. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. Now to college basketball. The Marquette Golden Eagles won 89-87 in the Big East tournament and will advance to play St. John's tomorrow night. The Badgers also taking home a win today, 70-63 in the Big Ten tournament, and will play UCLA tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Now on to baseball. Brewers are on the field against the White Sox in Arizona, winning 3-2. Big winners today. Our next broadcast is scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:09.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie & Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie & Fry's RO system. It's technology that's been around for a long time, but it's the best in the business, and Guthrie & Fry will get it to you. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie & Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie & Fry.
We have an exciting giveaway this week on Spanning the State.
One fan will win 2 front row tickets to see the Beach Boys coming to the Riverside Theater Friday, May 23rd.
Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
With timeless songs that shaped music history, they continue to inspire generations.
Experience the music, the magic, the good vibrations. The Beach Boys are still making waves.
Win 2 front row tickets to the Beach Boys coming to Riverside Theater May 23rd. Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Toya Washington.
So happy you're with us, Toya.
I am glad to be here.
It's always a bright day, and it's sunny out today and 44 degrees. Always bright inside, too, when you're with us.
Oh.
So great.
I'll pay you later.
At 4:10 on WTMJ, Trowbridge School in Milwaukee will reopen tomorrow after city health leaders confirmed a student was lead poisoned, at least one, and the source was the school, they say. We hear Trowbridge is opening back up again after intense cleaning. WTMJ's Sean Brinda has been on top of the story from the beginning, joins us with the latest. And Sean, there is a news conference today about a lead screening clinic that will be open this weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Julia and Toya. Today, Interim Chief of School Administration for Milwaukee Public Schools, Michael Harris, met with media today at Bradley Tech High School Thursday morning ahead of Saturday's lead screening clinic. To recap, this is one of 4 other lead screening clinics that will look to identify elevated levels of lead in students that attended Goldemeyer Lower Campus, Coggle Elementary School, Maryland Avenue Montessori School, and Trowbridge Elementary School. Harris says MPS and the city health department is expecting 1,000 students to get tested. We'll have multiple health workers on site to help with the process.
Our partnership is with Children's Hospital, so they have a full staff. They're looking at, if I'm not mistaken, 14 or 15 lanes that will be open. MPS will have some of its nurses, parent coordinators, Milwaukee Rec on site to just support the efforts to get folks in, make folks comfortable, and go through the process.
Now, the tests usually involve a finger prick in which students will get their blood tested with the goal to have lead levels below 3.5 micrograms per deciliter. If for some reason there is a higher level of lead in that student's blood, further tests will be done accordingly, as Vice President of 16th Street Community Health Clinic, Abby Gorecki, explains.
We would try to work with the parents to bring them right then and there to go and get what we call a confirmatory test. That's a venous draw, which is a blood draw that is an accurate measurement to confirm whether there is a true elevated blood lead level or there was just an incidence that happened with a capillary test. If that was the case, then that would initiate a couple of things, right? There would be some follow-up with the pediatrician. There would be some case management that might take place from the health department. It's really on a case-by-case basis.
Milwaukee health nurse Holly Nanas says beyond the schools, parents and students alike should be more aware of lead in their community, especially in a city like Milwaukee.
The one thing that we really want to have families take home is that childhood lead exposure or just lead exposure is in our environments, and we have to have people be informed and aware of what exposures look like, where there are potential sources of exposures, so that they can remediate them or minimize contact with their children with those hazards. So I think that is the biggest takeaway from here, is that we want to elevate that. This is important.
The clinic at Bradley Tech High School takes place on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Additional clinics will be at the 16th Street Community Health Center Chavez Clinic next Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. and at Children's Wisconsin's Next Door Clinic every Tuesday and Thursday, 1 to 4 p.m., starting on March 20th.
This is important. WTMJ Sean Brenda, thank you so much.
No problem.
Approaching 4:14 on WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home. Plus, what are Ukraine's rare earth minerals? I'll explain coming up.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
So Sidney Moncrief, Bucks legend, joins us in studio. How did your NBA career prepare you for the boardrooms that you're in each and every day?
It doesn't.
Wow, all right.
I wanted to take the concept of entrepreneurship and put it with a different lens, the lens of literacy. We need to understand these principles of literacy.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I've only been on this weight loss journey for 3 weeks. I've already lost 23 pounds thanks to the amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been eating healthier, drinking more water, and I feel a lot more energized. There's no better way to start the new year.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContracting.wi.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? Tri-County Contracting at WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lasaga, how are the roads looking?
Well, still a little bit slow along northbound 43 coming out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe, so give yourself some extra time there. On the southbound side, we're backing up just before you get to the Marquette all the way down to about the KK River crossing. Westbound 94 slowing from 20th Street to Hawley Road. There's also some delays just past Barker Road heading towards Springdale. On the eastbound side, we got some backups from Highway 164 through to Barker Road, and then again from 84th Street to Hawley Road, and then again through the Stadium Interchange. The bypass, by the way, is starting to get a bit heavier now. We're looking at delays from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale Interchange to Forest Home. Northbound on 41, slowing from just past Mayfair Road all the way up to about Burleigh. Southbound slow from Silver Spring down to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild, a low of 42 degrees. Tomorrow, rainstorms are possible at night. 63 at the lake, 72 inland. Saturday, windy with scattered showers possible, a high of 61. Sunday, possibility of flurries, a high of 40 degrees. Mostly sunny Monday, a high of 52. Right now, it's 44 degrees in Milwaukee. 4:17 on WTMJ. Happy Friday Eve.
So, you keep saying Friday, and I was like, wait a minute, what day is it? And Friday Eve. You keep catching me. That's twice now that you made my heart jump a little bit.
So we've heard a lot about the rare earth minerals in Ukraine, wanted by President Donald Trump, worth billions of dollars. Billions of dollars the president wants back after the United States helped fund Ukraine in the ongoing war. But was it ever actually explained what rare earth minerals are? Well, a geologist did on ScienceX.com, and the geologist explained part of it is how unique the country is, the location. It's a chunk of earth that has not had much movement and has been essentially preserved for roughly 2 billion years. We know a long time ago our continents divided with where we are now. And over time, some of the land has turned over with tectonic plates, not to get too sciencey. But the geologist said in this ScienceX.com article that they estimate a lot of the elements that we need, like iron ore, have been preserved there in huge chunks. It's rich in critical minerals that are essential for energy production. And the European Union estimates that Ukraine is one of the most resource-rich nations in the world, especially in Europe. So it's elements needed for electric vehicles, solar panels, energy storage. Ukraine has an abundance of cobalt and lithium. And while the U.S. does have some of those resources, we're not even close to as much as Ukraine. So there's environmental protections here in the U.S. as well to think about. And analysts say it's one way to not rely as heavily on getting those materials from China. So with Putin saying he agrees in principle with the U.S. proposal for a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine, we could be closer to getting a minerals deal done soon as well, which was supposed to be signed maybe 2 Fridays ago. But you know how that ended in the Oval Office with President Trump, Vice President Vance, and Zelensky. So time will tell. It's 4:19 on WTMJ. I have an unbelievable story. This Milwaukee man is accused of murdering his girlfriend and keeping the body in the apartment for weeks. The criminal complaint is unbelievable. I'll tell you more.
Crazy.
Next.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Save big money right now at Menards, your lighting headquarters. Find the perfect lighting for your home with new selectable color temperature TrueWave LED bulbs from Sylvania. Simply adjust the color temperature to change the lighting in a snap. Receive $10 instant savings on a qualifying purchase of $40 or more on TrueWave LED bulbs now through March 16th. Plus, don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, a second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investment Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant at home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
At 4:23, this next story I'm about to share comes right out of Milwaukee and is bizarre. A man is charged with murder after police say that they discovered his girlfriend's dead body in their apartment, and they say she had been dead since at least January. The medical examiner ruled the cause of death a homicide, as she was stabbed to death at least a dozen times. The 24-year-old man charged is Serkan Akled. He is in the U.S. on a verified asylum status. He is from Turkey, and the motive is still unknown. But court records reveal that he allegedly told investigators he did not want to report his 21-year-old girlfriend was dead because he didn't know how it goes in America.
Wow.
Whatever that means. The victim was on the floor.
Maybe. Okay. How does it go in any country if you kill someone? I mean, honestly,
I'm really
is there?
You asked that. I wasn't gonna add this, but detective said, okay, then how does it go in Turkey? And it's pretty much the same thing as America.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
That wasn't a good excuse. So the victim was found on the floor, and forensic analysts tell the court a huge amount of blood was cleaned up under the brand new living room rug. Police say they searched his car, found a receipt from January 24th, the day they believe the murder happened, where he bought a lot of cleaning supplies, according to court records, like bleach and insect repellent. Police say they're still trying to find the murder weapon because all the knives in the apartment were dull. So the suspect is accused of keeping his dead girlfriend's body in the apartment for weeks. How was it all discovered then? His landlord was kicking him out.
Oh, boy.
Court records show he wasn't paying his rent, and the property company was coming in the next day.
Oh, Lord.
To check in then.
I can't. Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine?
No.
He turned himself in, though, right? Before?
He said to investigators, had it not been for that he would never have come forward, feeling how things are done in America. Again, he said that again. So that's when he contacted police, Toya. He claims he had nothing to do with her murder. He said he didn't know where any of the sharp knives went in the apartment. He denied cleaning up anything, though the victim's blood was found on his clothes in the washing machine.
Okay.
And when he says, in fact, when he came home to find her on the ground back in January, he fainted.
But didn't call police because he didn't know how things would go down.
Exactly.
Didn't knock on a neighbor's door and be like, did you hear anything?
Absolutely.
Something like, I came home to my girlfriend. Okay.
And I'm not even getting into the graphic details of a body being on the floor for weeks. I'm not even going there.
No,
It's
I've read
very
enough.
graphic.
I've read enough
So-
of those criminal complaints and know enough homicide investigators to you don't want to know.
Awful. Okay, and then there's phone records in the criminal complaint. It shows after the woman was believed to have been murdered, they say the defendant communicated with the woman's family on her phone, pretending to be her and that she was fine and healthy and happy. He told police he tried to die by suicide the very next day, so January 25th, and detectives wanted to asked how he was doing it, and he said a nail. That's all I'm going to say. So they looked at his head where he said he did this, and the nail was still lodged in his head.
A nail gun. He tried to use a nail gun.
There's a receipt for that as well. The next day he bought that. So he was taken to the doctors, and they found that the nail extended into his brain.
Oh my gosh.
So he had emergency brain surgery. What the heck is going on? Isn't that weird?
Very weird. This is not something that you would, yeah.
So when they learned the suspect had a nail in his head, he was rushed to the hospital, emergency brain surgery. He's okay. He faces life in prison. So that's the story, according to court records, and we will be staying on top of it. It's 4:27 on WTMJ. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P 500 closes in a correction as the U.S. stocks slide on more President Trump tariff threats. The Dow was down more than a percent, down 537. S&P 500 down more than a percent, down 77. NASDAQ down almost 2%, down 345. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
I'm John Mercure. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. About 15% of adults in the U.S. report problems hearing in one or both ears, and it can range from mild to severe hearing loss. If you have hearing loss, even if it's mild, it can impact your quality of life and ability to work or socialize. Here to tell us more is Jamie Jensen, an audiologist specializing in hearing loss with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Jamie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
What are the signs of hearing loss?
For people who have some hearing loss, they may start noticing that they're having a hard time following conversations, particularly if there are two or more people talking or if there's background noise present in the environment. They may find that they're asking others to repeat more often or turning up the volume on the TV, often louder than is comfortable for other people in the room.
Are there more advanced treatments for hearing loss?
There are. For some people, typically when there's an issue in their middle ear, a surgery can be an option for treating their hearing loss. For people who have certain types of hearing loss that we call a conductive or a mixed hearing loss, a bone conduction implant may be a good option. This involves a surgery that allows sound to be transmitted to the inner ear of hearing, or the cochlea, by vibrating the bones in the skull. And then for people who have a more significant hearing loss and aren't getting enough benefit from their hearing aids, a cochlear implant is the best option. A cochlear implant involves a surgery as well as an external piece that looks similar to a hearing aid. The cochlear implant allows us to bypass the natural hearing system that isn't working appropriately anymore and to stimulate the hearing nerve directly.
Why should people with hearing loss seek treatment through the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network?
We have an experienced team of audiologists, ENT physicians, and neuro-otologists who will thoroughly evaluate your hearing. Based on the type and degree of hearing loss, whether it be mild, moderate, or severe, we will recommend a hearing treatment option that will best fit your hearing needs and will help you to meet your personal goals.
She's Jamie Jensen. Jamie, thank you for being with us today. To find a doctor who's right for you, visit Froedtert.com.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 4:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour, preparing to test 1,000 students for lead.
And I'm Toya Washington in for John McCure. Time is ticking to avoid a government shutdown.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We have a new crash to deal with. It's right at the ramp from Watertown Plank Road to northbound 41. It's off on the right shoulder, so something to keep in mind if you're heading through that area. We're definitely seeing delays coming up from around Wisconsin Avenue up past that point, pretty much all the way up to Burleigh. Southbound on 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. We've also got delays northbound 43 out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe, with the southbound side slowing down just before Fond du Lac Avenue, and that'll stay slow all the way down towards the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Mild tonight, a low of 42. Tomorrow, cloudy and mild, a chance of storms at night. 63 at the lake, 72 inland. Right now, it's 44 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Milwaukee man has just been charged in the death of a transgender woman. 22-year-old Damian Steed faces one count of first-degree intentional murder for shooting and killing Amir Dior. That's what he's accused of on February 21st. He's in custody on a $500,000 bond. If convicted, he faces life behind bars.
The caretaker accused of abusing a now-dead toddler from Two Rivers is asking for more time to prepare his case. Attorneys for Jesse Vang said Thursday they might need up to 6 months to review video and other evidence for trial. Police say Vang was the first to report 3-year-old Elijah Vu gone missing in February of 2024. Vu's remains were found last September. Vang is due back in court June 20th.
Milwaukee Public Schools partnering with the Milwaukee Health Department to offer its largest lead screening clinic Saturday at Bradley Tech High School. Interim Chief School Administration for Milwaukee Public Schools, Michael Harris.
Our priority schools are our K-8 schools in the district, where we have those kindergartens through second grade and those most fragile special education students. So we're going to be really working and focusing on those schools as we continue to engage in this work.
The clinic will prioritize students attending Golda Meir, Coggle Elementary, Maryland Avenue Montessori, and Trowbridge Elementary.
The interim chief of school administration for MPS is sharing some good news in the midst of lead issues.
To our families over at Trowbridge, they will be returning to their school tomorrow, Friday. We're really excited about that. Our team has been doing an excellent job of really learning from our partnership with the Milwaukee Health Department to really understand what this situation is and how we can remediate this and really get going on our other schools.
The City of Milwaukee Health Department has successfully finished lead hazard remediation efforts. MPS will now work to ensure students and staff only drink from filtered water stations.
The Medical College of Wisconsin entering the final stages of construction on its new cancer research facility. It's located on the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center campus.
The state-of-the-art 161,000 square foot Center for Cancer Discovery will allow more patients groundbreaking access to cancer treatments. Medical College of Wisconsin's Dr. Ben Weston.
We're excited to have this new cancer facility to really do cutting-edge research on cancer therapies and treatments.
The facility will also feature dedicated space to support the development of investigator-led startups that focus on accelerating innovative cancer therapeutics.
I think sometimes we forget how lucky we are to have these research facilities so close to us, top-of-the-line care in the world right next door.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The building is expected to open this fall.
The Milwaukee Bucks will honor the late Junior Bridgman tonight at Fiserv Forum.
Beginning with tonight's game against the Los Angeles Lakers, the Bucks will wear a Junior Bridgman tribute patch on their jerseys for the remainder of the season. In addition, the Bucks will hold a moment of silence before tonight's game, and a video celebrating Junior's life will play during the first timeout of the first quarter. The 71-year-old Bridgman died Tuesday after suffering a medical emergency during an event in Louisville, Kentucky. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Bridgman played 10 seasons with the Bucks, and his number 2 hangs from the rafters at Fiserv Forum.
In national news, Congress running out of time to reach a deal to keep the government open.
Markets continue to tumble, with investors nervous about the economic uncertainty from a looming partial government shutdown.
If there's a shutdown, it's only because of the Democrats, and they would really be taking away a lot from our country.
Senate Democrats say the 6-month spending bill, known as a continuing resolution, would further enable President Trump and Elon Musk to slash the government.
Going to be things that allow us to cut COPS programs, cut disaster relief.
They want a 30-day deal in order to negotiate a long-term solution. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The White House withdrew the nomination of CDC Director David Weldon just prior to his confirmation hearing. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
They were not brought into the loop at all on this. Even the Republican senators
who were on this committee very close to the Trump administration. People like Senator Tommy Tuberville, who is a very strong Trump ally, told us today that he was surprised. He was taken back by this, as was the chairman of the committee, Senator Bill Cassidy, who, again, was fully expecting and preparing when he woke up this morning to have this hearing.
It's believed he did not have the votes to be confirmed.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Basketball center stage today as the Bucks welcome the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James is out due to a groin strain. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. College basketball now. The Marquette Golden Eagles won 89-87 in the Big East tournament and will advance to play St. John's tomorrow night. Badgers also winning today, 70-63 in the Big Ten tournament. And they are set to play UCLA tomorrow at 1:30 in the quarterfinals. Now, moving on to baseball. Brewers on the field against the White Sox in Arizona, and the score is tied 3-3. Our next broadcast, by the way, yes, 3-3. It's getting interesting. Our next broadcast is scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time approaching 4:37.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter, an important part of our family. They're kind of like kids sometimes, and like kids, they weren't always listening. But I've got it figured out now. Thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training, our dogs are better behaved. They don't bark as much. They just listen better. They're happy, confident, obedient. Our house is a better house. Sit Means Sit Dog Training turned it around for us. Let them do the same for you. You can start with a free consultation. The website is sitmeanssitwaukesha.com. Sitmeanssitwaukesha.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
4:38 on WTMJ. Time to recognize another everyday hero. Here's WTMJ's Eric Bilstad.
Wisconsin's Morning News identifies an everyday hero as an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Newton County, Indiana. This is northwestern Indiana, very rural along the Illinois border. Just last Wednesday, Brianna Cassell was heading to her friend's house from her parents' home in Kankakee, Illinois. She'd crossed the border, was in Indiana, when she started to doze off.
She said she fell asleep, and I guess there was a bridge there, and she just veered over to the left and missed the bridge and ended up in a very deep ditch.
That's her father there. He says Cassell drove off the road, flew into a deep ravine. She was really hurt, and it was dark outside, and her phone was out of reach. She was screaming for help. No one could hear her.
There are over 400 cars that were passing her a day.
That's her mom, Kim Brown. See, no one could see her vehicle, so one night turned into two, and then into three. She could hear the cars all day, but no one could see or hear her. Now, the back of her vehicle, which was all banged up, was sitting in a creek. So Brown says her daughter used a sweater, throw it into the water, then pull it back out in order to get a drink.
She would take her hoodie and toss it like a fishing, and bring it back in and suck on it to have water.
Day after day, Brianna stuck in this mangled car while search parties were taking place. Her photo was all over the internet, but no sign of her until a guy named Johnny Martinez drove by. He was in a 10-foot tall tractor. He worked by the Newton County landfill, and he spotted the vehicle. So he called the supervisor and said, "Hey, I just saw a vehicle way down the ravine there. Is that anybody's?" So his supervisor, Jeremy Vanderwall, drove up. The two of them investigated. They thought the vehicle was empty until they saw her inside. Vanderwall tells ABC News,
"I noticed some dry blood on her forehead. I said, 'Ma'am, how long have you been here?' And she said, 'I've been here since Wednesday night.' And I said, no, it's today's Tuesday."
No, she wasn't confused. She had been there since last Wednesday night.
She was very conscious, very alert, very aware of how severe her injuries were.
Brianna had been there for 6 days. Thankfully, Johnny Martinez, who happened to see the wreckage, knew to phone it in. Her mom says he's a hero.
Johnny Martinez, thank you so much for finding my baby.
Absolutely. Martinez, an everyday hero, but we also think Brianna deserves some everyday hero credit here as well. She had the will to live and the will to survive, and she made it happen, despite 2 broken legs, a bunch of busted ribs, a broken wrist, and God knows what else.
I just can't wait to hug her and kiss her, which I probably can't do.
Yeah, just be gentle, Mom. Be gentle. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Wow, what an incredible story of survival.
I know.
Like 6 days.
With broken legs, broken ribs.
Oh, wow. We have a fire alarm going.
Oh.
I was going to tell another story. This is not good. When you're doing radio and this is going off.
Yes. Is this practice? Is this like
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's just listen to this. Okay. Someone must have pulled the fire alarm or something.
Okay. Well, they
it's
just muted
off.
it.
It's off.
All
Okay.
right.
Can I tell the story then?
Yes, please do.
If it goes off again, then we will go to break. I promise.
And we'll get out of the building if it's really on fire. Just so everyone's aware.
This is an unbelievable story of a man saving himself. We just talked about this woman. A man intentionally set a fire in his room because he told police he had been held captive in it for more than 20 years. This is in Connecticut. Investigators say the emaciated-looking 32-year-old man told them after he was rescued from the fire, he says that he says his stepmother was holding him captive in an 8-foot by 9-foot room for 2 decades and needed to get out. He told investigators this is how he survived. The stepmom would give him 2 glasses of water a day and sometimes was given a few sandwiches. Investigators say his teeth were rotted. He looked emaciated. The man suffered smoke inhalation and burns. He said the last time he was out of the house was with his father, who has since passed away when he was about 14 years old. His stepmother, Kimberly Sullivan, is now charged with assault, kidnapping, and cruelty, but he is getting better. So 2 stories of 2 people that had the will to live and a fire alarm. It's 4:43 on WTMJ.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone.
spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Back again and gone again for Hoskins.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants Friday at 3. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors, grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com to learn more.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's spring jeans sale is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality name brand denim at unbeatable prices. Right now, get a free $15 Blaine's gift card with every $50 purchase of Lee or Wrangler jeans. In our service center, select tires are buy 3, get 1 free for rewards members. And get our best tire price promise. Find a lower price and we'll match it. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Hey, John Mercure here. I love Otto's Wine and Spirits. It makes me smile. Served in Milwaukee since 1945. It's where I buy my wine. It's where I buy my beer. It's where I buy my spirits. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits, employee-owned, friendly staff, 7 locations. They know what they're doing. They've got the best prices at Otto's. They've got the best selection. Open 7 days a week with several locations. Milwaukee, Menominee Falls, which is where I go. Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. They are the real deal. Buy it at Otto's.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
446, let's get you where you need to safely with our Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how are the roads?
Hey, Julia, we do still have this accident on northbound 41 right at the ramp from Watertown Plank Road. It's off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. We're seeing delays coming up from about Wisconsin Avenue all the way past that point, almost all the way to Capitol Drive. Southbound's backed up from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound 43, kind of a hefty ride now, coming out of the Marquette all the way to Keith. Southbound slowing from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge all the way down to the KK River crossing. We've got westbound 94 backing up from 25th Street all the way to Hawley Road. More delays than west of the county line, and then west of Moreland Road all the way to about Calhoun. Eastbound slowing from the Zoo all the way to about 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, it's going to be partly cloudy, mild, chance of a lunar eclipse viewing starting at 11 o'clock at night. Peak time, 2 a.m. Friday. And then Friday, partly cloudy and mild, rain and storms at night. A high of 63 at the lake, 72 inland. Saturday, cloudy, windy with scattered showers possible, a high of 61. On Sunday, it's partly cloudy and breezy, a chance of flurries as well. The high will be 40. And then Monday, it'll be really sunny, mostly sunny, a high of 52. Right now, it's sunny and 45 degrees in Milwaukee. Just under 3 weeks to go until the April 1st election. The new interim City of Madison clerk says he is confident the election will run smoothly as an investigation continues into the 193 uncounted ballots found after the 2024 presidential election. The city clerk, Mary Beth Witzel-Bell, now on suspension. I spoke to Adam Roberts about an exclusive interview he just did. WTMJ's Adam Roberts joins us now. Adam, this is statewide news. The eyes are looking at this. What's the very latest? What have you learned?
So I spoke with Michael Haas is his name. He's the city attorney for Madison and now is double dipping. He's got 2 hats on at City Hall as the interim city clerk, of course, replacing Mary Beth Witzel-Bell, who was suspended, placed on leave, whatever term you want to use, by the mayor there, Satya Rhodes Conway, yesterday. So I spoke with Haas exclusively this morning, and I asked him, what contact have you had with Witzel-Bell? Understandably, she's been very quiet while all of this investigation with the State Elections Commission over these ballots.
But you need her help to figure it out still.
Exactly, and she's kind of tight-lipped about things, as you would expect. So I just asked Haas, have you spoken with Mary Beth at all?
We met after she was notified. She was very helpful in providing information about the office, the status of preparations for the elections.
So Haas told me he was first informed by Rhodes Conway, the mayor, that he would be taking over this position on Tuesday of this week. And then publicly, as we know, the announcement of Witzel-Bell's suspension was made the following day.
And there's a lot of legality to this. So it's interesting that the city attorney is involved and now is doing double. So it's just interim right now?
Correct. There's an indefinite suspension. There was no end date given by the mayor regarding when Witzel-Bell could return. And obviously, with the ongoing investigation nature of this, that means that date is likely, we don't know yet.
He didn't seem too excited with that last clip you just shared.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty big undertaking. I mean, you've got a major election coming up on the 1st with 2 super huge races, State Supreme Court and the State Department of Public Instruction. And Madison, like Milwaukee, will be 2 of those vote focal points for the whole state. So it's a lot of work. So the question then becomes, Julia, election integrity. It was mentioned during the Supreme Court debate last night by both of the candidates. And I asked Haas, you're going to be in a tough position right now. And a lot of eyes, as you said, are going to be on you. So what extra steps will be added to make sure every vote is counted?
There's some additional steps that Mary Beth had put in place based on reviewing what happened in November. And so our staff is working on putting together the documentation for that.
So that'll include extra steps now that the state commission has sent to all clerks, not just Madison's, but across the state, regarding how to count those absentee ballots and make sure we don't have a repeat of last November.
And just so we know, where were those 191 ballots?
So 193, they were
193, okay.
They were separated into courier bags. One was discovered in a tote bin. The other was discovered, I believe, earlier in a security bin. So they were in two separate locations within the city, and the ballots themselves were in these sealed up courier bags.
Yeah, and that's usually what you do, and you bring it to the central station or wherever the counting is, and you get it done. And they just misplaced it, or that's part of the investigation, I guess.
At least that's what WEC seems to be, the State Election Commission seems. And I remember listening to that meeting where they voted to depose these city workers, and the chair, Ann Jacobs, she had a lot to say about this situation. The whole board, the word I think I saw on the AP was flabbergasted by the whole situation.
Yeah, that was the word. So what's happening with Mary Beth Witzel-Bell? She will likely be questioned. And does she still have her job?
She has not been fired to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I can't officially confirm if she's been let go, but I have nothing to suggest that she hasn't been. She was in City Hall as recently as this Tuesday before she was let go the following, or placed on suspension the following day.
Okay, so she's on suspension.
Correct.
Okay.
I did ask Haas about, you were talking about those depositions. I did ask him, would you potentially be put before the State Elections Commission to speak on this? He said he does not expect to be deposed because he was not working on the actual election in November when all of this happened. However, there's the question of, if you're the city attorney...
Yeah, you're representing the city.
You may be called upon to testify or speak on behalf of Witzel-Bell or any other number of city workers.
Yeah.
So it remains to be seen if he would recuse himself from speaking as both, again, city attorney and acting clerk for the city of Madison.
Very interesting exclusive interview from WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Adam, thank you.
You bet.
So you can start voting early next Tuesday, along with the Supreme Court race. There's also another thing to decide on your ballot. It's about the 2011 voter ID law, where Wisconsin voters already have to present an acceptable form of photo ID. Should we keep it or should we get rid of it? It's been involved in a slew of legal challenges, but if it is approved by a majority of voters on April 1st, a constitutional provision would then cement that requirement and kind of stop it from all the legal challenges. Because how many times when you were anchoring for WISN, or I remember reporting like, this time you do need a voter ID, this time you don't need a...
Yes.
Yeah.
And then because my married name and my on-air name, my maiden name were two different things, and there was always that question. So it was like, okay, well, then having to explain, like, no, this is the one I use on air. It is my maiden name. My married name is something different, and that's why we keep them separate.
My government name is my husband's last name, Klappa, but I'm just used to calling myself Julia Fellow.
Yeah.
So when I go in, I'm like, I saved the wrong name and I have a
I know,
ID.
red flag. They're like, uh-oh.
They're like, are you really who you say you are? I know, it's so confusing. It's 4:54 on WTMJ. Your top stories, weather, and W gets you home safely, coming up next.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee could see some $300 million in state construction money if Wisconsin adopts the $4.1 billion capital budget proposed by the governor. The largest investment in the Milwaukee area will be $190 million, used to transform former Columbia Hospital buildings on the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee campus into a health sciences hub. The State Building Commission will vote on the plan March 25th. Central Standard Craft Distillery is taking off on its next expansion project. The Milwaukee Distillery is adding a craft house and kitchen at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport later this year. The spot on Concourse C will be Central Standard's second location. There's been a lot of back and forth on the broadcasting of Brewers games, and now we've learned that a selection of spring training and regular season games will be broadcast on over-the-air stations in Wisconsin. Simulcasts include the Brewers' home opener against the Kansas City Royals on March 31st, as well as simulcasts of Tuesday night games. I'm Timothy Gibbons with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors ranked first among all home improvement projects. To see Geis's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geisdoors.com. Geis has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geis at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geis. Visit them online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Got game?
What was the question?
Yeah, we've got game. We've also got...
Swims through his man and lays it in as he knifes his way into the low block.
And...
He'll give to Giannis, and he says, I'll add some more to my tally, thank you very much.
And who could forget?
Pulls up top of the arc. He got bumped, and he hit the three. Count that, baby, with another one coming.
Catch every Milwaukee Bucks basketball game all season long on your home for the Bucks. 620 WTMJ.
Get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month at PellaWI.com.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
For Jenna, helping others find joy is so rewarding. It's why we love to do what we do.
I enjoy simplifying the process for the customer, taking the time to listen, and finding the right solution.
Randy understands that everyone's situation is different, so we don't just slap together cookie-cutter solutions.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are, all the samples, the videos, pictures.
Jake arrives at your free in-home consultation with pre-prepared materials to fully envision your dream Pella build.
We're with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Whether you're working with Ryan or another Pella consultant, we don't go away after the sale. We're ready with anything you may need before, during, and after installation. And right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a decision has been made in the Morgan Geyser case. She's connected to the Slumber Man stabbing.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
Her lawyer and family have been trying to get her released from the mental institution for years.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Afternoon News, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
Hunters and soldiers use night vision optics that enable them to own the night. Jesus said he is the light of the world, and whoever follows him will never walk in darkness. However, he sometimes keeps that light out of the visible range. We don't see it, but it changes what we see. What does it mean to walk in that light of Christ? Hear Dr. Michael Ziegler's message, Light of the World, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Landworks. Take a look outside and imagine the yard of your dreams. What do you see out there? Thriving plant life, immaculately edged beds, beautiful, healthy blooms. I got this at my place. It's thanks to Landworks. Take the guesswork out of your green space with landscape services from a good local company, Landworks. Their personalized landscaping plans are carefully designed to make your property shine throughout the season. Plan it now. Now's the time to contact Landworks today, the teams I trust in my yard. LandworksWisconsin.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with Early Pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at Heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
The Bucks are ready to face Luka and the Lakers at Fiserv Forum.
Lillard drives, nice find underneath, and Giannis rocks the rim with a two-hand slam.
Our coverage begins tonight at 6 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It is 5:01. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Thursday, March 13th. Your top story, ensuring all ballots will be counted on April 1st.
And I'm Toya Washington in for John McCure. The cost of upgrading Milwaukee County's courthouse.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got this accident northbound on 41 at Watertown Plank Road, so watch out for that. It's off on the right shoulder. And then we've got another one on 41 southbound at Hampton Avenue. This is off on the left shoulder. So we got some backups coming in from about Good Hope Road down past the accident scene to Capitol Drive. Also, eastbound 94, watch for backups from Highway 16 all the way to Barker Road. Then you're back on the brakes from about the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th. Westbound 94, that's got backups from about 25th Street all the way to Hawley Road. And then northbound 43 backing up from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy tonight, mild. A lunar eclipse starting at 11 o'clock at night. Peak time 2 a.m., a low 42. Friday, tomorrow, partly cloudy and mild. There's a chance of storms at night. 63 the lake, 72 inland. Right now, it's 43 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a WTMJ exclusive. The new interim Madison City Clerk is ensuring all ballots will be counted on April 1st as an investigation continues into how 193 ballots went uncounted last November.
Michael Haas is no stranger to the elections process, having previously worked as administrator for the Wisconsin Elections Commission. But he tells WTMJ he's still getting acclimated to his temporary job as city clerk.
I spent most of yesterday just getting my bearings with the staff here.
Haas says the currently on leave Marybeth Witzel-Bell put in place practices before her suspension Wednesday to ensure the April 1st election runs smoothly.
I have some great deputy clerks here. I'm confident that we will be in good shape.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin. Both candidates for an open Wisconsin State Supreme Court seat discussing the nearly $60 million invested into the race during Wednesday's debate on WISN TV. Judge Brad Schimmel.
97% of the donors to my campaign are people who vote right here in the state of Wisconsin. Almost 50% of my opponent's donors can't vote in the state of Wisconsin because they don't reside here.
Judge Susan Crawford offering a response.
I have support from all over the country, and it is because Elon Schimmel is trying to buy this race, and people are very upset about that.
The $59 million invested breaks the previous record set during the 2023 race between Janet Protasewicz and Dan Kelly.
Coming up, an unusual side effect of poor sleep. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 5:04.
Hey, boaters!
Where else are you going to find weather stripping for a 77 Carver? That's what he said, and I don't know the answer to that one, but he sure was glad he found it here. I'm Dave Doro with Kendor Marine, and when it comes to boat parts and supplies, we have it all. If you're a boater and you need it, we got it. And that's why you got to get here. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, boaters!
Inexperienced boaters are more than welcome here, because at Kendor Marine you'll find all the answers to your questions on parts, installation, troubleshooting, and the best part is, when we figure out what you need, we can grab it from our massive inventory of boat parts and supplies that no one around can match. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. I know, it's been a long winter, the shoveling, the hibernating, the being a couch potato. Well, hey, you might not be at your best, but Connect Chiropractic, the teams I trust, can help you get rid of those aches and pains and get it all under control. I go to Connect every Thursday, and I love it. They put me right where I need to be, bringing back my energy. They take care of headaches, back pain, neck pain, neuropathy. They deal with it all, and they do it in a cool way. It's more nuanced. No twisting, cracking, popping. Nuh-uh. Connect Chiropractic, going to take care of you the way they take care of me.
The latest gift with purchase has arrived at your local Merle Norman Cosmetics, including Foundation Primer Plus, Soft Touch Eyeshadow Duo, Lasting Cheek Color, and Plush Lip Liner and Pinky Swear. You'll take it everywhere you go. Shop in studio now and take a look at our spring Berry Cherry color collection at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman Cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Promotion not available at merlenorman.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:06.
Milwaukee County Courthouse getting an upgrade.
The courts are there, and you've got defendants in the courts who walk right by people who are going to be on jury panels and people who are going to be testifying against them. And there's a whole host of reasons why that 100-year-old building is just not good enough anymore.
That was Greater Milwaukee Committee President Jill Brennan. Governor Tony Evers has proposed the $25 million be used to help update the courthouse. Brennan estimates in total it'll cost about $500 million to clean it all up.
We already know that sleep deprivation is bad for our overall health, but it can also lead to an increased belief in conspiracy theories.
People who are depressed or sleep deprived are more likely to believe conspiracy theories. A study by the University of Nottingham showed participants an article about a conspiracy theory. People with poor sleep quality and depression were more likely to fall for the false conspiracy theory than others. Doctors say sleep is crucial for mental health and cognitive functioning.
For WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices One Call That's All Sports Desk. Basketball takes center stage today as the Bucks welcome in the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James out because of a groin strain. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock right here on WTMJ. Brewers are on the field against the White Sox in Arizona. Our next broadcast is scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time approaching 5:08. Tax tips are brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit thenealgroup.net. That's NEALgroup.net for a free consultation.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. There are 5 filing statuses you can use when preparing your return: single, married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household, and qualifying surviving spouse. Filing status is determined on December 31st of the tax filing year. Each case should be examined to determine the most appropriate status within the tax law. Often, couples in the middle of a divorce believe that they should file 2 returns, but that is not always the case. If the divorce is not final on December 31st, you are still considered married. But there may be a situation where married filing separately makes sense, even if filing jointly gives a lower tax amount. Head of household can be a confusing status. 2 unmarried adults living in the same home may each be able to claim head of household on their returns in certain circumstances. Tax preparers will get the best results for you when asking all of the right questions. For more information on this tip and other tax tips, go to nealgroup.net or stop in and see us.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. I get a lot of questions about QC Kinetics treatments, people asking if they should consider it for their own joint pain. Well, here's how you know. If you answer yes to any of these questions. Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or hips or shoulders or other joints, trouble sleeping or walking? Do you want to avoid surgery, a long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because joint pain is holding you back? If you answered yes to any of these questions, don't wait. Call now. Call QC Kinetics and ask for your free consultation and learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can help you get lasting relief. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Toya Washington.
are you doing, Toya?
I'm good. I'm reading up on the metaphysical reason behind the.
What?
Yes, we're talking about the blood moon, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm reading up on that. You lead off, and I'll tell you what I learned.
Okay. So hopefully the clouds get out of here for us to enjoy the blood moon tonight. A total lunar eclipse. It should start at about 11 tonight. It'll be at its max peak viewing in our area at about 2 in the morning tomorrow. So overnight.
Set your Ring camera.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll end at about 5 in the morning. So yeah, what did you learn?
So apparently, and I, of course, I'm not one of those woo-woo metaphysical type of people, but I always like to figure out like what's the reasoning or what do other people believe about. So apparently, this moon and the lunar eclipse of it means that it is a time for introspection and self-reflection. So you're supposed to dive deeper into basically yourself and figure out how you're going to make changes and a transformation moving forward.
Interesting. People who are into crystals too. This one lady who would do massages, she'd talk about chakras and all that stuff and gave me this white crystal. When there's a full moon, you're supposed to hold it up to the moon and it gets like energy.
Yes, it's like regenerative energy in the crystals. Yes, like plugging in your iPhone. You got to recharge it.
Exactly. Speaking of moons, this is really interesting, I thought. An announcement by astronomers stationed in Hawaii, specifically the island of Kauai. They say they positively discovered 128 new moons around the planet Saturn.
Ooh.
So Saturn's moon count is now at 278. We just have our one little blood moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it took more than a year to confirm, and here's why. All of these newly discovered moons are really small, maybe like a mile in diameter, they think, and it's jagged and are traveling backwards from all the other moons that we had known about and had been identified before. So the theory is that likely larger moons around Saturn had a collision at one point. And that's
These are
why
the smaller moons. These are the break-off moons.
These are the break-off moons. So that's why the newly discovered moons look small, jagged, and are moving in opposite directions. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Very interesting.
It's 5:12 on WTMJ. People are also keeping their eyes on the Supreme Court race. Early voting starts next week, and TMJ4 News chief political reporter Charles Benson talks about the fiery debate between Brad Schimmel and Susan Crawford vying for the open seat.
So, you think your new star puts you up there with the best?
To see somebody of Luka's caliber be traded like this, you don't see that happening very often.
Well, just wait till we show you how we do it here in the Midwest.
Where are you from?
Dude, I'm from Lake Michigan.
Dribble. LeBron takes off. Blocked by Giannis at the rim.
The Bucks host the Lakers in Milwaukee. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6.
Giannis blocks the king at the rim.
We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Just Between Friends, Milwaukee County. I wanted to give you a heads up about the best sale for children and teens. It only happens twice a year. I've literally saved thousands of dollars. It's Just Between Friends, Milwaukee County. Pre-sale is Thursday, April 10th, and it runs through Sunday, April 13th. At the Wisconsin State Fair's Expo Center in West Dallas, you'll find gently used clothing, toys, equipment for your growing family at up to 90% off the retail price. Everything like brand new, everything is safety checked, so you can head to milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com to learn more. It's put on by a mother and daughter duo. They are such great women who work so hard to create the biggest and best sale of the year for you. You can also consign your items, make some money. The average person makes more than $600. You can start now at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. That's milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Well, spring is quickly approaching, and it's the perfect time for you to get an awning installed, so it's ready once the temps warm up. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Until March 21st, you can receive a free motor with the purchase of any retractable awning or screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads?
Well, we're still dealing with this accident northbound 41 at Watertown Plank Road off on the right. Southbound has its own accident on 41 right at Hampton Avenue off on the left shoulder. And now we got a broken down vehicle eastbound 94 right past 84th Street. This is off on the right shoulder. There's plenty of room to get past it. You just want to keep your eyes open for it as you're heading past that whole area. It's going to be slow anyways out of the Zoo interchange all the way through to about 27th Street. Northbound 43, watch for those backups coming up out of the Marquette all the way up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild, lunar eclipse. You can start seeing at 11 o'clock at night. Peak time will be Friday morning at 2 a.m. The low tonight will be 42. Tomorrow, rainstorms at night possible, 63 at the lake, 72 inland. Saturday, mostly cloudy, windy with scattered showers, a high of 61. Sunday, partly cloudy, breezy, chance of flurries Sunday, a high of 40 degrees. Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 52 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 44 degrees. He is the chief political reporter for TMJ4 News and senior political correspondent for Scripps News, Charles Benson.
Hello.
I know what you were doing last night.
I was hanging out in the newsroom watching the
debate
for our two candidates for the state Supreme Court.
Yes.
And it's good to see Toya, by the way.
Hi.
Hello.
I know. We always
go back to Madison.
Yes, way back.
Oh,
yeah.
When you were an anchor
my
at
brief
27?
stay there, yes.
Yeah.
You know, my
Yep.
brief, yep.
And you were at WISC.
Yep, correct.
That's
Yes.
awesome. I love that.
We were buds back then.
It's a very small world.
Competitive buds.
Competitive buds.
I bet.
And then
Friends.
we're competitive
yeah,
buds here as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But
Okay.
speaking of competitive,
No kidding.
Oof.
Okay, it got really spicy.
It did.
I thought. When talking about who's donating to each other's campaigns, Waukesha County Judge and former Attorney General Brad Schimmel accused of getting campaign funds from Elon Musk, which Schimmel argued he has no control over, and more than 90% of all of his donations from people in our state. Then Susan Crawford questioned by her opponent over how 50% of all of her donations were from people who don't even live in our state. So this is the back and forth.
I'm sorry, Jen, but you don't dispute that nearly 50% of your donors don't live in this state.
You know, I have support from all over the country, and it is because Elon Schimmel is trying to buy this race, and people are very upset about that, and they are disturbed about that. He is spending over $10 million. That dwarfs the contribution of anybody else in any campaign in Wisconsin history. People should be very concerned about that.
And Schimmel pointing out that there's a billionaire backing her.
It is expensive and it's difficult to get your message out on the airwaves to all the voters of Wisconsin. But there's a difference here. My opponent was supported by George Soros. He's funded DAs and judges who have let dangerous criminals out on the street. He's funded efforts to defund the police in America. He's a dangerous person to have an endorsement from.
Let me ask you about George Soros. Do you embrace his endorsement and his spending on your
campaign? I have had generous contributions that have gone to the Democratic Party of Wisconsin. The Democratic Party of Wisconsin has endorsed me and supported my candidacy. But let's talk about Elon Musk.
So it's really interesting how they kept redirecting back at each other.
Yep.
And $59 million spent in this race.
This is now a record number according to WisPolitics. You know, we thought 2 years ago you couldn't come close again to spending that kind of money for a state Supreme Court race. That race not only broke the record, it shattered the record, not just in Wisconsin, but across the country. And now here we are approaching 60 million with less than 3 weeks ago. But it has become, what makes this race different, I think, than the 2 years ago, is the battle of the billionaires, right? You've got Elon Musk in here, who's really, through PACs and his own groups that he has, he's putting in, as they say, about $10 million, not directly into the campaign of Brad Schimmel, but directly benefiting Brad Schimmel's.
And that's kind of like the highlight now, is just talking about the money that is being poured into this one race.
Right. So that's on the Republican side. On the Democratic side, you've got this other billionaire that Democrats talk about and Republicans like to push back on, is George Soros. But there's other billionaires as well. Diane Hendricks, who is from Wisconsin. So that's what's been the interesting part to me, is about how the billionaires have stepped in on this race to sort of see which way this court leans. Now, it's going to be up to voters, but they're getting heavily influenced by all these ads that come from all the campaign contributions. Look, Elon Musk has been, he's in the headlines every day. He's in the news about every hour. So if you're on the Democratic side, not surprising, you're going to try to push back on him. And if you're on the Republican side, you're going to push back on a guy named George Soros.
I mean, with Trump showing all of the different Teslas in front of the White House, for Susan Crawford's campaign, it was an interesting argument for her to have, because it's whether you like Elon or not, if you want to support her, like, that was probably an interesting argument. And it had nothing to do with the actual issues.
Well, so that's the other thing here, right? We haven't talked what are the issues.
Not once.
And at the top, they started talking about the abortion issue, the 1849 law, which is also interesting because that is what is in front of the state Supreme Court now and likely to be decided before any of it, whether it's Schimmel that wins or Crawford that wins, they don't get on the court until August of this year. So a lot of concentration on this 1849 abortion law, which may be settled by the time the state Supreme Court.
Liberal leaning.
It's a 4-3, yeah.
Did you hear how Schimmel was talking about how there were maybe just over a dozen cases that the
So you mentioned, that they're not taken up enough cases and thought that they were. But yes, we've been in a 4-3 now after being a conservative-leaning court for almost 15 years. And that's why the stakes are high when you have a chance to potentially swing the court.
I guess, what was your biggest takeaway? I mean, other than the fact that we were talking about billionaires fighting billionaires at this point, I guess what I took away from it was I never felt like there was a clear pathway. Like, as far as like what I'm supposed to take home, digest, and then take into the voting booth.
But here's the thing that I've kind of, I think what has dramatically changed is we look through everything today through a political lens, right? And I almost hesitant to say this is a nonpartisan race, right? Who believes that anymore? These are hyper-partisan.
Just like every school board, all of it.
And we want our judges to wear the black robe, not a red robe or a blue robe. And yet people look at these races and look at our courts now as that of either a red robe or a blue robe. And so when I looked at this debate last night, did you see the independence that you would want out of a judge? Did you see how, and I've asked both of them these questions.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are groups lined up because they want to see their side win, but I also think there then becomes the expectation of if you are the conservative candidate, the expectation is
that you're always going to vote.
That's right.
In that way.
Or the liberal candidate.
And then you're always going to vote in that way.
Right. Yep. And so are they even, what happens to them if they oh my gosh, they don't vote with the majority that they're supposed to? And the guy who gets most pushback on that is Hagedorn, Justice Hagedorn, right? Sometimes they're like, hey, how come,
Yep.
And so that's the part that's interesting to me is, do we really, how much will we hold each of them to be accountable to step back and honestly look at the issue, not through
that lens?
Yeah, well, I think Schimmel had a really good way to say it about the jury. Like, I wish I had a Men in Black pen where I could just, clear your mind of anything and any bias. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Maybe one more case that you think will go before the Supreme Court. We have abortion, maybe.
Well, so one of the issues that does come up is that, and I'm curious about this too, as the court changes, if it changes this time again, who then shops things that say, oh, now we got a conservative court? Or if the liberal court stays, now let's get this in front of it. And one of the issues they keep talking about is now potentially redistricting the congressional districts.
Yep,
a
US.
couple of them. And so so people are wondering, does that one come up after we saw the redistricting of all the legislative maps? So there's a potential for these other things to come down. And as we saw in the debate last night, Elon Musk has filed this lawsuit. Where do these things eventually end up around Tesla on the issues?
Yeah,
right?
the dealerships.
Yeah.
I
So
should have put two
there's
and
a
two
lot of
together
things
before
that can end up in front of the state Supreme Court. Act 10 is now in front of, these are big issues that all of us covered, a dozen years ago, thought that was settled law. Now
it's out.
And now it's back in front of, it was in front of the Dane County and now could be in front of the Supreme Court.
Voters will decide on April 1st. Early voting starts next Tuesday. He is the chief political reporter for TMJ4 News and senior political correspondent for Scripps News, Charles Benson. You can check him out always, his great work at TMJ4.com. It's 5:25 on WTMJ. Charles, thank you.
Thank you.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
Save big money on your next painting project right now at Menards. Give your room a grand finish with Pittsburgh Grand Distinction Interior Paint. It's a premium paint and primer with a tough, resilient finish that is ultra scrubbable and stain resistant. Save big on Pittsburgh paint. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Lent. That's right. The Lenten season is here. Experience the fabulous Friday Fish Fry at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Merck here. I love the Fox and Hounds Fish Fry. It's all you can eat. It's one of the best, and it's always fantastic service. All other dinners are buy one, get one free tonight and this weekend. The pan-fried walleye, salmon, scallops, pasta, a big fresh salad, even steak and lobster, your second dinner's free. Desserts and huge ice cream drinks, I love the Brandy Alexanders, are buy one, get one free. Unwind with an old-fashioned, there's over 20 bourbons and 100 fine wines, unique dining rooms with fireplaces. The Fox and Hound sits in the Kettle Moraine Forest. The scenery is spectacular. It's a Wisconsin must-see, and your second dinner's free. Saturday, your second prime rib dinner is free. So check out the Friday Lenten Fish Fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Call and reserve at one of my favorite spots, the Fox and Hounds.
Do you enjoy fatty foods, sweets, and alcohol? Who doesn't? Unfortunately, all those things put a lot of pressure on our liver. That's why pharmacist, best-selling author, and nutritional expert Sherry Torkos recommends Active Liver from New Nordic.
The liver is an incredible organ. It works nonstop to process toxins and chemicals from our food and drinks, medications we take, and even environmental exposures. As a health expert, I'm often asked how to support the liver's natural detoxification process and offset the effects of fatty foods, sugar, and alcohol. I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. This gentle plant-based supplement is an effective way to support your liver's vital functions as well as your energy and overall well-being.
With its powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, Active Liver is the perfect way to keep your liver healthy and you feeling your best. Active Liver is available in both a delicious gummy or tablet. You can find Active Liver in the vitamin aisle at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us is Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we talked for quite some time about the disruption that mergers and acquisitions in the insurance industry can cause. So what did 2024 look like, and what do you see ahead for 25?
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. It was another incredibly busy year for mergers and acquisitions in our space. Over 750 agents and brokers chose to sell their business in 2024, and that follows 833 deals in 2023.
So, Jeff, remind us again why that's important for folks who are listening right now.
Vince, when your agent or broker sells their business, it means uncertainty, disruption, and in many cases, new relationships. Does any of this sound desirable if you're a business owner or a homeowner looking for guidance? New owners have new demands on the acquired business. New systems mean employees and sales staff will be internally focused for extended periods of time. The focus becomes very much internal, away from the customer, as those acquired organizations figure out who's in charge, what systems are we going to use, and what does my future role look like going forward. Wisconsin agencies and brokers haven't been immune to this activity and distraction either. Lots of activity in our state. We've even seen a few organizations on their second new owner in just a couple of years.
Jeff, I've heard you say it before. We are not for sale. Give us a recommendation for R&R Insurance.
Vince, we're fiercely independent. We've been family-owned for almost 50 years. Independent means we make our own decisions. This allows us to be client-focused and direct our energy and resources toward client value, not private equity returns or shareholder returns. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience with a top 100 agency in the country, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burkhardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour, a second guilty plea in the death of a Milwaukee man.
And I'm Toya Washington in for John McCure, hours away from a potential government shutdown.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and northbound 41, the accident at Watertown Plank Road's finally been cleared out of the way. We do still have delays from Watertown Plank Road up to Burleigh. The southbound side has its own accident right at Hampton off on the left shoulder, still being worked on. We got eastbound 94 backing up out of the Barker Road area all the way past Calhoun, back on the brakes from back basically from the Zoo interchange all the way through to 27th Street. The westbound side slowing from 25th to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 42. Tomorrow, cloudy and mild. There's a chance of storms at night. 63 at the lake, 72 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Milwaukee man has been charged in the death of a transgender woman. 22-year-old Damian Steed faces one count of first-degree murder for accused of shooting and killing Amir Dior on February 21st. He's in custody on a $500,000 bond. If convicted, he faces life in prison.
A second guilty plea in the death of Devontae Mitchell. Hubert Williamson is one of four men charged in connection to his death outside Milwaukee's downtown Hyatt Hotel. Williamson pled guilty to misdemeanor battery in court today. The 52-year-old was originally charged with felony murder. He will be sentenced in September.
The man involved in a Madison Mall shooting is finally in custody. 28-year-old Devontae Anthony was arrested in Kalamazoo, Michigan by U.S. Marshals Tuesday morning. Surveillance video shows two people near a cell phone store arguing when Anthony pulled out a gun, according to police, and fired a single shot across a hallway at Westtown Mall back in October. Then everyone fled the scene by car. One person was hurt but recovered from this incident.
MPS and Milwaukee Health Department are hosting a lead screening clinic for students from 4 schools Saturday. Interim Chief of School Administration for Milwaukee Public Schools, Michael Harris, on how many medical professionals will be on site.
Our partnership is with Children's Hospital, so they have a full staff. They're looking at, if I'm not mistaken, 14 or 15 lanes that will be open. MPS will have some of its nurses, parent coordinators, Milwaukee Rec on site to just support the efforts to get folks in, make folks comfortable, and go through the process.
Future screening clinics will take place at 16th Street Community Health Center and Children's Wisconsin Next Door Clinic.
The interim chief of school administration for Milwaukee Public Schools sharing some good news in the midst of lead issues.
To our families over at Trowbridge, they will be returning to their school tomorrow, Friday. We're really excited about that. Our team has been doing an excellent job of really learning from our partnership with the Milwaukee Health Department to really understand what this situation is and how we can remediate this and really get going on our other schools.
The City of Milwaukee Health Department has successfully finished the lead hazard remediation efforts. MPS will now work to ensure students and staff only drink from filtered water stations.
More women are getting surgical sterilizations. Clinical assistant professor at UW-Madison, Dr. Laura Hanks, tells Spanning the State why medical professionals are seeing an increase in the procedure being performed.
In the post-Dobbs era, in that year afterwards, Wisconsin was very much a gray area. We didn't know if abortions were allowed or not, and so people were scared as to what was going to happen. So they were seeking to, control their bodily autonomy.
Dr. Hanks says out of the number of patients getting sterilizations, a majority are younger women.
The Milwaukee Bucks will honor the late Junior Bridgman tonight at Pfizer Forum.
Beginning with tonight's game against the Los Angeles Lakers, the Bucks will wear a Junior Bridgman tribute patch on their jerseys for the remainder of the season. In addition, the Bucks will hold a moment of silence before tonight's game, and a video celebrating Junior's life will play during the first timeout of the first quarter. The 71-year-old Bridgman died Tuesday after suffering a medical emergency during an event in Louisville, Kentucky. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Bridgman played 10 seasons with the Bucks, and his number 2 hangs from the rafters at Pfizer Forum.
And we are just hours away from a possible federal government shutdown. New Mexico Congresswoman Teresa Leyze Fernandez says Democrats shouldn't be to blame.
Listen, Republicans control the Senate, the House, and the White House. It is their job to put forward a funding program that is bipartisan. And if they don't pass a true appropriations bill, it's on them.
The House passed a deal to fund the government through September without any Democratic support, but Senate Democrats have said they won't support the measure.
In announcing he would impose a 200% tariff on all wines from the European Union to retaliate for the group putting 50% on American-made liquors, President Donald Trump poked fun at people who like fancy wines. Mario Duta is the purveyor of some very expensive bottles.
I really believe that this is a poker game. They playing poker, and I think they need to act like grown-ups, sit at a table, and make things fair.
President Trump doubling down today that he would not bend on the tariff wars that he started.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Basketball, center stage today as the Bucks take on the Los Angeles Lakers at home. LeBron James, he's out due to a groin strain. Coverage begins at 6 on WTMJ. College basketball now, the Marquette Golden Eagles won 89-87 in the Big East tournament and will advance to play St. John's tomorrow night. Also, Badgers winning 70-63 in the Big Ten tournament, and they're set to play UCLA tomorrow at 1:30 in the quarterfinals. Moving on to baseball now, the Brewers on the field against the White Sox in Arizona. Don't know the score. Sorry. I will figure it out. Our next broadcast, by the way, is scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. And in the NFL, Packers, by the way, have just signed cornerback Nate Hobbs.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:37.
You gotta get to Built Right today. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right furniture, leather, and mattresses. Shop Built Right's annual Friends and Family Sale and $1 million clearance sell-off on now. If you are looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you got to do what my wife and I did. We went to Built Right. We love our new living room furniture, our son's sleeping on a new mattress, and most importantly, we enjoyed the shopping experience. 4 generations, 97 years strong, celebrating 19 years in the Greenfield location. 3rd and 4th generation family members in the store, working alongside their amazing team. Be ready for your Easter guests with thousands of items in stock or custom order at a low sale price. USA made, small scale, Ohio Amish made, and real solid wood furniture. 60 models of USA made mattresses. Built Right always saves you money. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. So, Brian, where are you right now?
I'm out in Tosa, right in Hart Park. Beautiful park here, right in the center of Tosa along State Street. And it's Tosa Restaurant Week, so we're out here featuring that. It's a beautiful park, and a lot of people are enjoying the park. And then we're also talking about next week, a week from now, we're doing our next Let's Talk event, and it's right here in Tosa.
Oh,
So-
I see. So,
We're both starving, too, by the way, and it's restaurant week.
I know, we are.
I know.
We've
I
been on
think
since
about
3.
it, and sometimes I forget, like, how many restaurants are in Tosa, all the way from out in Mayfair, along North Avenue, right in the village as well.
You know, I was also, Toya and I were watching you on mute. We have 4 different TV screens. And every time I saw you, there was a train behind you. Were they loud?
The trains were too loud because when they come through here in Tosa, they're usually at a pretty slow speed. But I wouldn't want to be stuck at this light right here by Hart Park because there was one that was like...
It was so long.
I don't know. It might have been the same train that you kept seeing. I mean, this thing was
Might have been the same. It was on loop.
Yeah. This thing was stretching from downtown Milwaukee all the way up to Brookfield, probably. I don't know.
So when you get back to the station or before you left the station today, I'm sure Susan Kim was asking you about the blood moon. So
yes,
tell us everything.
Okay, so we actually have a lunar eclipse tonight. So tonight with the lunar eclipse, we roughly around, I'd have to look at my notes, but I think 1:56 a.m. is when we start to see like the total lunar eclipse, and it should last for like a half hour. So basically what happens, I mean, these aren't as rare as like the solar eclipse that we had. I think it was a year or two ago. This one, I think it's been 3 years, where you get basically the Earth to go in between the moon's orbit around us and the Earth and the sun. We're blocking the sun's rays from hitting the Earth, or from hitting the moon, so we don't see it.
That's super cool. It's like partly cloudy really cool. Tonight. Yep. Will we get a good view or no?
Yeah, so that's the big question. So I think we will have a layer of clouds. However, I do think it's a pretty thin layer of clouds. It doesn't go too high up into the atmosphere. So it's like kind of a thin deck that I do think that the moon will shine through it. How much it's hampered, the eclipse part of it gets hampered by that thin layer of clouds. I think that's like to be determined, but hopefully it doesn't mess things up, especially if you plan on setting your alarm and you wake up and you're like, where the heck is the moon?
Yeah, exactly. All right, Brian, take us home, especially with tomorrow. I was looking at these storms possible tomorrow night.
Interesting day tomorrow. We're going to get a big surge of warm air tomorrow out ahead of a strong area of low pressure. So we're talking a high of 64 in Milwaukee. If you're standing right on the beach, it'll probably be in the 50s, but 73 as you get out to Waukesha, partly cloudy skies. It's tomorrow night, I would say after 10 o'clock, that we have a good chance for thunderstorms. Now, given the overnight arrival of the storms and the proximity to Lake Michigan, I don't think we have as big of a severe threat as out in, let's say, Iowa and down into Illinois, but we do have a chance for some severe weather, so be on your toes. This is for tomorrow night. Heading into Saturday, very windy with just a stray shower possible, a high temperature of 62, but not very pleasant because the winds will gust up to 50 miles per hour. On Sunday, mostly cloudy, cooler with a chance of rain or snow shower, a high of 43. Another chance of rain and snow showers on Monday, 46 degrees. That's March, right? We get our hopes up, we get some 60s, 70s, and next thing you know, we get smacked with some snowflakes. Yeah.
My goodness.
Welcome to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
70 and then snow.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky for TMJ4 News. Brian, thank you so much.
Yep. See you, Toya, Julia. Bye-bye.
Well, nice to see you, or hear you, or whatever we're doing these days. I saw you on TV, and I can hear you right now. All right, we've covered everything we need to cover, except that I need to fix the Brewers score.
Oh,
so
go ahead,
they
go ahead.
up 7-3 in the bottom of the 7th. They're in Arizona playing the White Sox.
Ooh, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. That's great news. It's 5:42 on WTMJ.
If you missed this,
can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
Or this.
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my repertorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com, presented by Dave Drakamp Heating.
Blain's Farm and Fleet's spring jeans sale is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality name brand denim at unbeatable prices. Like men's Rustler jeans, $14.99. Rewards members pay just $13.99. Get a free $15 Blain's gift card with every $50 purchase of Lee or Wrangler jeans. And men's Wrangler 5-star jeans are on sale, $21.99. Rewards members save an extra buck. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blain's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry. If you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. If you're due for a dental visit, Economwalk Dental Care has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to my exam, Dr. Michael's staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economwalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lasaga, how are the roads?
Well, we've got, we've got some accidents now. 41 northbound, right about at Blue Mound Road, off on the right shoulder. Then we've got, of course, the other accident southbound at Hampton. We have the right shoulder blocked on northbound 41 at Watertown Plank Road. So another accident in that same spot that we had that earlier. So just give yourself tons of extra time. It's not looking too good. Eastbound 94, we've got backups basically from the Zoo Interchange all the way through to 35th. The westbound side's heavy from 27th Street through the Stadium Interchange. Northbound on 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue pretty much all the way up to Keefe. And then on the bypass, we are seeing delays from about Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale Interchange past Forest Home. The westbound side backed up from 27th Street all the way to about 60th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News Podcast is sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit davedrakamp.com. Vladimir Putin says he agrees in principle with U.S. proposals for a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. Inez de la Cutera, ABC News correspondent, is overseas and has the very latest. Inez, thanks for joining us. What does in principle mean?
Hey, yeah, that's the big question here. So we did hear from the Russian president. He says that Russia is ready for a ceasefire, but he's also suggesting that Ukraine will have to accept additional conditions before an agreement can be reached. So there are those questioning whether that is Putin just delaying here and not actually intending to sign any kind of ceasefire deal. We heard from Putin. He said that any deal would need to lead to long-term peace and eliminate the root causes of the crisis. Those root causes are Russia's reasons for starting the war. So it's unclear if, the U.S. and Ukraine will be able to resolve that. Some of the sticking points that we know are holding up this deal. So Russia has insisted a few things. So they want any deal to include international recognition of seized territory. They want a commitment that Kyiv won't join NATO. And they want pledges that European peacekeepers will not serve in Ukraine to protect against another Russian attack. So, again, unclear if any of that can be negotiated or if this is just Putin trying to delay implementing the ceasefire.
And you mentioned this additional conditions. Is that kind of what you just laid out? What does this mean? Or what, if you could speculate, what are those additional conditions?
Yeah, so we have a pretty good idea. He said it himself. They want to eliminate the root causes of the crisis, and they have already insisted that the deal must include recognition of the new territory, which Ukraine, by the way, has said that's out of the question. That they want to return to their original borders. They want a commitment that Kyiv's not going to join NATO, and they don't want European peacekeepers, which was an idea that was floated by France and Germany and the UK, or rather France and the UK, and Germany wasn't in favor of that. But that was something that we had heard from Ukraine, that they want security guarantees to ensure that any ceasefire is going to be upheld. So we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Putin did say today he may need to have another phone call with President Trump. And we know that the U.S. envoy, Steve Witkoff, is in Moscow as we speak. He's there this evening. He's going to be meeting with Putin behind closed doors. So we'll see if they're able to hammer any of this out.
And Putin wants new borders. What would that look like, which Ukraine does not want?
Yes, I mean, they want the territory they've seized in the east. Russia did make some gains in the east, which is, we should point out, those are areas that have those rare earth minerals that we've talked about, that President Trump has voiced an interest in. Russia has seized some of that territory, and so they want to hold on to what they've gained. But Ukraine, again, has said they don't want, they're not going to accept that. They want to return to their original borders. They've even pushed to return to pre-2014 borders. I think there's optimism that the talks are being had. We know that there's been a big push from President Trump to negotiate some sort of deal. We know that U.S. negotiators this week were meeting with Ukrainian officials in Saudi Arabia to try and hammer out a deal. So there's optimism that talks are happening, that diplomacy is at work here. But then again, you do have, Kremlin experts, people who watched Putin closely, who are very skeptical that anything is going to come out of this, because it's not, I've seen reading experts saying that Russia doesn't really have any interest in ending the war, that they do believe they can win this by force. There is a lot of skepticism here and feelings that Putin doesn't actually want a deal.
Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News correspondent, is joining us on the Citing Unlimited Talk and Text line. Inez, Putin did note the need to develop a mechanism to control possible breaches of this truce. What would that be?
Yeah, so it's interesting he mentioned that because at the same time he's saying he doesn't want European peacekeepers on the ground. Unclear. He didn't provide any details, but that was certainly something that was interesting. He also said he doesn't want Ukraine to use the ceasefire to rearm or to, mobilize the population. So he's, and that's a tough ask of Ukraine. And at the same time, Ukraine doesn't want the Russians to do the same. So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how they hammer out these very specific demands from Russia. I think that's why there's a sense that this is not going to go anywhere, because they're so specific and they're so hard to resolve.
Is there any word on when the President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin may meet in person?
Yeah, we don't know. We're all, anxiously waiting for that. We know they spoke early on after President Trump was sworn in. We just heard from Putin today that he may need to have a phone call with Trump. President Trump has been asked also about any potential meeting with Putin. They haven't given us any kind of timeline yet, so we're all waiting for that. I would imagine if there is some kind of deal, we'll, knowing President Trump, we'll probably be seeing some kind of, big ceremony with leaders gathering to sign something, or Trump may decide to meet with Putin prior to the deal. He may decide that face-to-face talks are necessary, but this is just speculation at this point. We really don't know when the two men could meet.
ABC News correspondent Inez de la Cuetara, thank you so much.
Thank you.
At 5:53, if you just popped in and you heard the end of what Inez was talking about, Putin saying he agrees in principle with the U.S. proposal for a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine, you can always hear it in full on our podcast page. Just text the word WAN, W-A-N. It stands for Wisconsin's Afternoon News, to 855-616-1620, W-A-N. What's your plans tonight, Toya?
I was here 3 days, hit the button every day except for that one. I am headed to the Bucs game.
How fun.
Yeah.
Are you bummed out that LeBron is not?
I don't mean to talk too much crap, but it seems typical that every time he comes to face with Giannis, he's not playing. I'm just saying.
Interesting.
Just observation here.
So I saw him one time. It was when Giannis was little Giannis. He was just the brand new Giannis.
Baby Giannis.
And I was on the court. We were doing some other news story, and I was interviewing some fans. and I was right under the net. And I said to my photographer, Dan Seelan, at the time, I said, can I just stop right here and just watch LeBron? And he was like floating on air like a ballet dancer.
Mm-hmm. He's great to watch, but like I said, I don't know that I've ever seen him play against Giannis in person.
That is weird.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck?
Oh.
Okay. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Toya, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And let me see your top. You have
I have a Bucks top on. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right. I hope you have a great day. Have a good one.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee could see some $300 million in state construction money